What's up, everybody? It's me, V. Welcome back to Fire Emblem Fates Revelation, not Conquest, but Twitch.tv still doesn't have a Revelation category. How's it going? I think I just did a little, like a teeny bit of support grinding off screen to get Azura. What is it? Azura and Corrin are gonna get married. Hello, Dante. Are you helping already? There we go. Yeah, okay. So, hopefully this all works. I was gonna say something and I completely lost it. Yep, it's gone. I see in the time between streams Faye's diary has followed, so thank you for the follow, assuming you're still around. Oh no, this is happening here too, okay. I was having a little problem right when I started the stream, where I was trying to open Streamlabs. Hey Hazel! I was trying to open Streamlabs, and for whatever reason, my search tab was like glitched, and it kept like going up, so I was trying to open Streamlabs just from like the Finder or whatever. Hey, currently. And it kept glitching up, so I think that just happened here in the game, but it appears to have fixed itself, so we're gonna hope that it stays fixed. But yeah, I was just mentioning that I did the supports for Corrin and Azura off screen, and we don't need to read this, because it's exactly the same every single time. I'm drinking coconut water with orange syrup and water? Why? Yeah, why? I'm curious. Does that give you electrolytes? I usually just drink like Pedialyte or something. Okay, let's read this. The lake looks so calm under the moonlight. It's such a relaxing sight. I should probably try and go back to sleep soon. Corrin, is that you? Sir, you surprised me. My apologies. I didn't expect anyone else to be out here at this hour. I was hoping to be alone for a while. Oh, well, I was just leaving, so... No, Corrin, please stay. I'd much prefer to spend this time with you. Alright then, I'm more than happy to stay. Here, you can take a seat right next to me. Very well. All comfortable? Full enough. Corrin, you seem a bit tense. Why exactly are you out here? Almost everyone is already asleep. Are you feeling alright? Well, I just needed some air. Lately I've been having some trouble sleeping. I'm getting some rather troubling nightmares. Nightmares? What about? You remember our conversations about Hoshido Nor and, well, you know. Of course. Have you ever thought about what would have happened if we'd chosen a side? How many lives we would have taken? Our families, our friends? Our allies, our friends, our families? Okay, sorry, I thought... I read that as our families, our friends, our families. Like, damn, Corrin, okay. Corrin, is this what you've been dreaming about? I can certainly see how such thoughts would trouble you. Oh, and perfect timing, because we just got Brave Corrin in Heroes, and she is actually horrible. I hate her so much from a gameplay perspective. She was my free pick from a personal perspective. From a gameplay perspective, I want to throw her in a fire, but we can get to that. I can certainly see how such thoughts would trouble you. But the fact remains that we did not side with the kingdom. We have allies from both Nor and Hoshido now. Yes, that's true. It's silly for me to be so worried about what could have been. It's just in the nightmares, I see everything, everyone I could have lost. They made me realize there's just so much risk if we fail. Fear of failure is only natural. But if it means anything, I sincerely believe we can and will prevail. We'll win this war and bring peace to every kingdom, I know it. Thank you, Azura. Your support means the world to me. I've said it before, but I really don't know what I'd do without you. That is a scenario you will never have to face. I have absolutely no intention of leaving your side, so please don't worry. Truly, you mean that? You'll always be by my side? Of course, there's no place I'd rather be. But what if I were to fail? If you're by my side then, I'd just drag you down with me. I'd never be able to forgive myself for making you suffer. Korin, I think I would suffer more if I weren't by your side in such a moment. I couldn't bear to leave you to face such a miserable fate all alone. If you must fail, I want us to fail together. Aw. What if I told you that I'm scared of losing you the most? Dante, how did you do that? He knocked over my drawing pen again! More than Xander, than Ryoma, than any of the people I love. You're the one I couldn't live without. Me, Korin, I love you, Azura. You give me grounding in a world that makes no sense. Your presence is so reassuring, it's honestly what keeps me going. This is a dangerous path we've chosen, yet you've never once hesitated to support me. Every time I see you standing beside me, I know I made the right choice. Thank you so much for telling me this, Korin. You've made me so happy. I have? Then does that mean you? Yes, I love you too, Korin. You're the reason I wish to never leave your side. Oh, sorry, there's the... Ow, okay, I can't read today. Zura. I want to believe it was fate that you and I came together. People like us with paths so similar to each other, it could only have been meant to be. I think so too. You and I are tied together, Korin, and what binds us is stronger than all else. Whatever happens through this world, I will always love you. And I'll always love you, Azura. Let's walk this path together as one. Oh, right, I forgot about this. Sorry.
I love you too. Please forgive my many faults. And promise to stay with me forever.
Okay, and then we got babies. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's read this real quick. And this completes the incest arc. Yeah. We might have gotten another set of cousins married in there somewhere. I wasn't paying attention, I'll be perfectly honest. Hey, Hayato, thanks for those purses the other day. I'm using one of them a lot. It's cute and really handy. What's up, the real sketch? We got babies. This is the first thing I hear from you when I open this stream. Oh god, I just like snorted a little bit. I hope nobody heard that. Yeah, we're not gonna get Kana for a while though, because getting Kana this early is like a nightmare. I'm using one of them a lot. It's cute and really handy. Well, I guess it went to a good home. I'd love to meet the ladies from the Wind Tribe. I feel like we have the same taste. You really think that they would be anything like you? You're giving them a lot of credit. No, we definitely have things in common. For example, I really admire the way they use the flowers on this. That's not something all women like. I thought flowers were just a thing that were just normal for girls to enjoy. Personally, I don't understand the appeal. But you mean you aren't in the least bit interested in floral patterns? Not at all. You know, honestly, Hayato, I'm here with you. I understand. I don't like floral patterns. Is that so surprising? No, it's just, oh dear. So the other day I was sort of showing off the cute purses you gave me. I shared a few with some of the girls in the army. Okay. Well, I didn't have enough for everyone, and I may have possibly kind of implied that they could get lots of flowery things from you since you love that stuff. What? I'm sorry, I can explain to everyone. You'll see, I can totally fix this. It's too late. My reputation is ruined. What would make you think that I'd ever be into cute things like that? Don't get upset over something so trivial. It's just stuff you got from your hometown. I get teased for looking like a child as it is. Now they all believe I like little flowers. I'm feeling nauseated just thinking about this. No, this is a disaster. Hayato, please calm down, it's not that bad. Okay, yeah, that's all the supports I got, because I haven't picked up, like, most of the pairings. But anyways, I was ranting about Fire Emblem Heroes Brave Korin, because I spent, like, so long trying to do, like, the chain challenges for the new chapter that came, Because I picked Corrin as my free pick, and I was using her in, like, the Forging Bonds, and I was like, wow,
so
she's,
much,
like,
my sweet prince.
she's so good, like...
I would love nothing more than to stay by your
I
side.
think I'm gonna use her, like, on like, more of my teams, because she's just, like, really good. And I didn't, like, think about, like, oh, this is gonna be a nightmare to play against, until I got to the story chapters. And I could not... I spent, like, an hour, like, swapping teams around.
I'd rather be outside training.
Trying to figure out something to take her down. And then I was doing the chain challenges, and I did one of the maps by I had my own Brave Corrin. And it was just, like, a back and forth of, like... like, whittling her down, like, 1 HP at a time. I don't know if it's as bad as, like, Fallen Edelgard, but it's, like... it's ugly. Because I feel like Brave Corrin probably has counters, I just don't necessarily know them yet. I mean, I was really going at it for, like, the first time last night, but, like...
We can do.
I am at.
Because, like, Fallen Edelgard sucked because not only, like, was she so hard to take down, she had, like, no counters. What are my... Ruby and Pearl, I guess?
Let's go together.
But yeah, yeah, not only was Fallen Edelgard, like, a pain to take down, she also had, like, no freaking counters.
Here I come.
Which meant that, like, you were kind of just screwed.
I'm here.
Whereas Corrin, I feel like, has counters, but anyways. Yeah, so that was my night last night, and I was like... I was also trying to do this when I was, like, exhausted, because, like... my dad wanted to take a little day trip, which meant several hours of driving, right? And it was literally just to go to a candy store, because that's the kind of guy my dad is. So we get back, and I'm exhausted, and I'm trying to play Fire Emblem Heroes, and it wasn't working for me. So I'm a little bit tired today. Hopefully. Oh wait. We gotta give Takumi point blank. Where are you, baby boy? Wherever it is. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful, we love to see it. I left my notebook where I have all of the pairings written down upstairs, and I'm debating if I want to go get it, or if I'm just gonna live with it for today. Oh. Okay, so I think, in the interest of not getting, like, completely overwhelmed by paralogs toward the end, I think I'm gonna do, like, at least one paralog. I'm gonna try and do the paralogs as they show up. So, like, I think... I kind of want to do chapter 11, and then maybe we'll go get Mozu and, Shigure. And then we'll move on. Corrin rescues Archduke Azana from a Norian illusionist and gains a valuable ally, Takumi. Aww. But the group then heads into a forest to rescue more Hoshidan forces. Let's go. Everyone hold up. I see something in the distance. Looks like a plume of smoke.
Huh?
Mutual enemies, yeah. I was debating making the stream title some, like, enemies to lovers kind of joke, but I couldn't think of anything, so I put in a name and I moved on with my life. It isn't just any smoke, it's my brother's smoke signal.
Huh?
Saiso's there. What does the smoke signal mean?
Indeed.
He is, and it means that he's engaging in a large number of enemy troops.
What was that?
We need to go help him then. No, Lady Corn, if he has sent up that specific smoke signal, well, that isn't him asking for help. The signal is meant to warn allies away. He believes it's too dangerous there. We should head in a different direction.
No.
You can't be serious, Kaze. That's your own brother out there. No, I've made up my mind. Everyone, get ready for battle. We're going to help Saizo. Lady Corn, why? You'll be putting us all in danger.
Yeah.
The enemy we're facing can't be beaten if we don't gather allies, and I won't sit on my hands when an ally is in need. We have to be willing to help each other, no matter how dangerous this situation is. If you insist, Lady Corn. Thank you. Oh, wow, I thought we were gonna go straight into the battle. Color me hopeful. This looks like the place where the smoke signal was sent up. You think Saizo and his foes are still in the area?
I don't know.
I don't know, it's difficult to tell. We've entered Mokushu territory. This area is heavily forested, making it easy to get lost. We should stay close. Look, there are footprints leading deeper into the forest. Let's follow them. Takumi! Too bad we don't get your husband for a while. It's so dark and gloomy here. It's kind of scary, really. I need you can hold onto my arm. Thank you. Aww. We're pretty deep in the forest now. This place is practically a maze. But the Lord Takumi, look out. Shuriken. It's cool. He hit him from 2 range. He can counter. He can counter from 1 range now.
What's this?
Not just any shuriken either. That was the kind Mokushujin fighters use. He joined at the end of last chapter, so you couldn't use him in chapter 10, but he joined after chapter 10.
What?
Mokushujin are attacking us?
Indeed.
I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. They're about to. That was only a scout. There are more enemies heading this way. Why would the scout give away the ambush? Well, everyone, get ready for them. The cute animation of Sakura actually taking Takumi's arm. I know, right? Three Houses wishes that it had the level of animation as a 3DS game. Okay, we definitely want to bring you guys. Okay, you know, I am gonna have to go get the notebook, because that's also where I wrote down who we were gonna be using in this playthrough, and I didn't write that down anywhere else. So give me like 2 seconds, I will be right back. Hopefully Dante doesn't follow me. Trip me? Can you trip me, Dante? Okay. Sorry. I gotta get another notebook. Because this is the notebook I also use for, like, I have some writing ideas in it for my Leo Kumi fanfic that I didn't work on this week, even though I said I was gonna post another chapter this week, because, I'm bad at my job. So, I keep moving it around, and I really just need a notebook that stays, like, down here with me. Okay, yeah, because I think we're gonna use Hayato, who has a bunch of iron lances for some reason. We're gonna use Kaze. We're gonna use Silas, who we don't have yet for some reason. We didn't miss Silas, did we? Like, we didn't somehow miss Silas, right? Like, he wasn't... Sorry, now I'm paranoid. Where's the recruit information? Oh, he doesn't even show up until chapter 14 in Revelation. Okay. So he just seems like a character you would get really early. I forgot how like weird Revelation's like recruitment is. Okay, I don't have anybody else that I'm planning on using so far, so I guess we'll bring... We don't really have a swordy on us. I guess I'll bring Rinka and... I'll bring Hana because she's getting married to Hayato so I can pair them up. Why am I being so picky about this? I have like way more than enough deploy slots this chapter. Jacob for an extra healer, I guess, and... I'm not bringing Gunter. Maybe I am. Maybe I'll bring Gunter instead of instead of Hinata so I can get his supports with Korin. Let's see. Okay, I need to... quickly move some things around. Do we have another Bloom Festival? I have a heal staff, I'll take that. I should have done this beforehand, but I was not thinking. Okay, we're gonna... The spears are just, like, better than the Naginatas, right? Just, like, flat out. They have more might, the same amount of hit, same amount of crit and avoid. Oh, but the Naginatas grant one to defense and whatever. That's fine. You get more attack, but for less defense. Okay, I think I should have another... Now I actually get to, like, compare them. Hold on. So the axes have a higher might, but a lower hit chance. And a lower crit chance. Okay, whatever. And I want a vulnerary for Takumi. Okay. That's good. I believe we are ready to begin.
Yes.
It looks like a group of fighters has entered the forest. Friends of yours, I imagine. Alright, the hot ninja man. He could go far in a bang ability poll. He's got like the evil, he's got like the sweet spot between like evil and hot, I think. The it factor, if you will. They must not be too bright. What kind of fool walks right into an obvious trap? You never fall for that, right, Kagero? Being a retainer to Prince Ryoma and all. Oh wait, you did.
You're a disgrace.
You're a disgrace to all ninja. Why have you taken me prisoner? Mokushu is allied with Hoshido. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I've decided to ally with King Garen. But I've been waiting for this a long time, honestly. Once Hoshido has been defeated, Mokushu will rise up to replace it. I'll finally become a true king. You've lost your mind. Ouch, no need to be so insulting. Right now it's more prudent to keep you alive. But that could change at any time. You, take her away.
Sir!
Yes, sir.
I am prepared.
I've always been prepared to die carrying out my mission. I never realized, though, how much it would hurt to have failed Lord Ryoma. If only I delivered his message.
Hey.
Orochi. long roll. Okay, Orochi, have we reached the spot where Kagura was captured?
Well...
Yeah, this looks like the area our scout described. However, we've gone so deep into the woods that I can't be sure. We can't just stand here doing nothing. Let's search the area.
I can barely contain myself.
This forest is amazing. I can almost taste the bitter animosity in it. Please let me handle anyone who stumbles upon us. The acoustics here will make their last words all the more beautiful to hear. Don't lose focus, Reina. We can't afford to die here. Don't worry, Kagura. We're coming. Over there, is that Saizo?
Truly.
He seems to be engaging the same enemies we are. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's how the saying goes, isn't it? Talk to Saizo. He might be more willing to join us now than he was before. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to do this? It's a route chapter. And there's a lot of these guys. Okay, we probably want to get Korin over there as quickly as we can to talk. Guess we'll use the Dragonstone. Oh, hold on. Gotta turn animations back on. And I forgot there were pit traps. Okay, yeah, there are several things I wanted to talk about today, and I have already forgotten all of them. I'm just a wee bit scattered today, it's fine. Oh, okay, recenter. Sorry, my mind's all over the place. There's been a lot going on for me the last, like, week or two. Unfortunately, not all good things, but... in general, I don't want that to, like, affect the streams too much, but it's just... my brain is just not here for the moment, and I was kind of worried. That it might make it a little bit hard for me to stream, but... it's not even that I feel bad, right? It's just that I feel like... like, when you have a lot going on and then it just, like, your brain just, like, isn't, like, with it, you know? Isn't, like, working for you. Making it hard to, like, keep track of things or whatever. And I'm feeling a bit of that right now, where it's like I say something and I'm like, I don't remember where I was gonna go.
No mercy. I'm here too. Much obliged.
Okay. I just need to get into a rhythm. I remember now. I was running a little bit late because the semifinals for the Awakening Bangability poll went live and I needed to go add the links to the post. And
I am at your service.
at this point, I would be genuinely surprised if it wasn't Cherchi and Prom winning. So that's actually about what I expected when it started. But of course, I didn't actually like make a prediction when it first started, so nobody knows that that's what I thought was gonna happen. Seriously. I guess Sakura is gonna get like some hella experience here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Chrom and Cherchi. Flavia did like way better than I was expecting though. I was also gonna note when I was talking about like the intersection between evil and hot in Fire Emblem. I feel like that's enough to get you on the bracket, but I feel like it never takes you very far. I feel like that's been the experience with like both the Three Houses one and the Awakening one is like, you know, like Nemesis gets on the pole, Pharos gets on the pole, you know, like Arendelle gets on the pole, but they all got kicked out in round 1.
I won't stand idle. Watch your back, child.
I make my own fate.
I have a question. If like
Sorry.
these traps hurt us every turn, right? But like these spikes don't seem that dense.
We're not alone.
How are they not able to just like walk around them? Like I could see why like when you first stand on it it would hurt you, but I don't know. I don't know. How's it going for everybody else? How was your week?
I'll back you up.
Hot and humid? Yeah. It was actually like cold here lately. Which is really weird because it's never this chilly in like August. Reina, my wife, my ex-wife now I guess at this point. Lucky you. I don't know. I kind of was like enjoying the shorts weather. I'm like a lizard, so like you know, I like it when it's like disgustingly hot because I'm just a big old weirdo, I guess. I never understood the people that are like, oh, I'd rather be too cold than too hot because you can just put on more clothes. And I'm like, yeah, but I can also just like not be freezing to death all the time. That's great. I love it when that happens. I have no problems with heat, but with humidity, I mean, yeah. Humidity really is the killer. That's I feel like that's something that like a lot of people from like really like dry areas. Sorry, I'm talking about the weather. How interesting am I? I feel like that's something that like people from like really dry areas like don't get. Is they're like, oh well, it's like 100 degrees here. It's like, yeah, but like a humid 80 is like a dry 100. Or so. Kaze's probably not gonna get hurt by that age. It also makes sweating hurt. That's why it's so much like worse. Because like your body can't like efficiently cool itself when it's humid because it doesn't like evaporate. So then you just, and it like sticks to you.
Remain calm. Remain calm.
But yeah, I don't mind the humidity that much. But that's partly because I grew up in like a pretty humid area, so I'm kind of just used to it. Oh my god, there's another fucking trap. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe Corin needs to come help these guys. Can you reach? You can. start with this. I'm actually pretty scared to keep getting headaches and stomach aches. You should probably go like to a library or somewhere that has air conditioning. Drink a lot of water. And you should probably go find somewhere that's like got air conditioning or something, like to hang out for a bit, you know? Cause it is actually like super important to like keep cool. Or get like a fan, definitely something to get, like get air flowing. You know, stand in front of the fridge for a couple of minutes. I've done that. Actually, when I was, Hey Liz, what's up? When I was living in my one apartment, there was 1 week. This was when I was in undergrad. There was a week where it was like 100 degrees every single day for like 2 weeks straight. And it was humid as hell, so it was really hot. And my apartment had air conditioning, but like I was just being like really stubborn and I like didn't want to turn it on. So I just like didn't. And it actually caused, well, it didn't cause, but like I was really stubborn and I didn't want to turn it on, so I didn't. And you know, Dante, I had Dante at this time. And I came out of my room and he was like lying flat as a pancake on my coffee table. Cause I'd like had a cold drink on there and he was like lying like flat on his belly on the coffee table, like trying to get cool. I didn't want to turn the air conditioner on because it was one of the window units and it was really loud. And it bothered the heck out of me. I did turn it on for him though, like for Dante. When I noticed that he was like getting really hot, I would turn it on to like cool the place down. And then I would turn it off and then I would just turn it back on when it got warm enough that Dante was uncomfortable, but sometimes like I would like turn it on, or no, I wouldn't turn on the AC. I would go into the kitchen to get something like out of the fridge, and Dante, I would open the fridge door and Dante would like bolt into the kitchen behind me and jump in the fridge. It was that hot. So I have some old pictures of Dante just like in my fridge in my apartment. Which is so cute. But yeah, so then I would occasionally, like, if he like ran into the fridge, Takumi! You stupid son of a bitch! Now Hayato's just gonna like die. Thanks. Are we still doing like hashtag blame Takumi? Is that like a thing that's still going on in the fandom? Can I do that? Okay, this is like turning into a disaster very rapidly, but but yeah. So he's still confused from getting captured, I guess. Oh, Hana saved him. Leo was too hot. What was it somebody said, like,
learned your lesson?
Things happened and that thing was Forest. I guess Forest is currently happening right now. he's got the pregnancy brain. Okay.
No hesitation.
I'm looking at my notes of things that I like wrote down to talk about on stream because I've just been collecting them. And if I like don't get to it in a stream, I have it just in case I want to talk about it next time. Can we want to write fanfic together? On stream fanfic, but we'll have to save the naughty bits for later. Actually, that is like part of what's given me like some brain fog right now is like I said I was gonna post the next chapter of my Lyokumi fic this week, and I fully intended to do that. I was really inspired on like Monday, Tuesday, but just things happened and I didn't get around to it, and then I had a bunch of other stuff that I was dealing with, and then I couldn't do it yesterday because I mentioned that me and my dad went on like a little day trip, which was, I mean, that literally took all day. Like, we were gone all day. From like 9 to like dinner, and then I had to do stuff after dinner that I didn't get done before we left, so that didn't happen. So yeah, and then I was like sitting down to try and write more like last night or, you know, like whenever, and I just, the inspiration was gone, and I was like, fuck. So that's where I'm at. And it sucks because I have it like written, you know, I have like the bones of it done. I just need to get like I need to go back and do like the second pass with like detail and everything, and then I need to get it beta read. And it's just a little bit overwhelming. So next week, probably for sure. I promise. Saizo, are you alright? Ford, what are you doing here?
Huh?
We came to help you. That was your smoke signal we saw, right?
What?
It was, but that wasn't a distress signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Kaze told us it wasn't meant as a warning. Or it was meant as a warning. But there's no way I'd just abandon you to the enemy. I mean, you're a valuable ally. You knowingly risk yourself just to help us. Very well. You've beaten me. No traitor would behave as you have. Lady Sakura might have been right about your motivations. Let us fight together. I won't let you down, Saizo. Thank you for joining us. There's no time to waste. One of our allies, a ninja named Kagero, is being held captive. She was supposed to locate Lord Ryoma and return to us. We have to save her.
No.
We'll do everything we can to help. Thank you. I'll let my allies know that we'll be fighting together. Okay, Orochi, my wife that never was. But yeah, so that's where I am at with the fanfic. And Ryoma ran away to his secret girlfriend again, as always. Not bad enough that he had to give his little brother insecurity issues. He also had to run away to be with his secret girlfriend. Can I kill? I can. This would be a lot easier if I had Goro standing like somewhere else though. Okay, and then this time, we're gonna get the chest on this map before we kill everybody. I'm not really gonna be using either of these guys, so I don't really care. Okay, I want Oboro to stand like here. And then Kaze can do this. Yeah, okay.
Trust me.
Yeah, so you know, I did what I always do when I feel overwhelmed and uninspired, is I bought a subscription to Paramount Plus and I was rewatching Zoe 101 because I found out that they had a reunion movie, okay? And I know that the cast of Zoe 101 like sucks and like horrifically bullied Alexa Nichols and everything, but
Oh, what fun!
I don't know, I feel like this is a problem a lot of people in like our generation, or like, or my generation at least, I don't know how old y'all are coming to terms with, where we kind of have to realize that just like nothing that we enjoyed as children is sacred, it's all ruined somehow. And I don't love that that happened. And that Jamie Lynn Spears apparently, like, sucks, but at the same time, I'm like, if I don't, I'm like, there's nothing left. There's nothing sacred anymore. Nothing left that hasn't been touched by something disgusting, so... I will partition this one thing for myself for, like, the hour it takes me to watch this, which I haven't watched it yet, but... Which I feel bad, like, saying that, like, oh, I'm gonna watch it anyways, even though I know horrible things happened here, but, like... I have to be able to enjoy something. Alright, let's just go for it. Saizo can steal a couple of kills as a treat, or he can just not. He can just miss if he wants. That's great. Thanks, Saizo. This is why I'm not using you. This is why I'm using your hotter brother. Okay, I think now would be a... Wait, no. Okay, you're all one range, so I think if I put Oboro right there, it should keep Sakura safe. Oh, or that just wasn't giving a movement penalty and I'm an idiot. Okay. We are good there. Shove. I did not realize that... Wait, what's giving you shove? I did not realize that this game had that. I did not realize that this game had movement tech. Learn something new every day. Oh, also something... Sorry, I'm just gonna air this grievance real quick and then we move on, but like something else that is really bothering me is that like I was trying to like tag this stream so that people would know it was Revelation instead of like anything else. And just dumb pet peeve, but the tag is like Fire Emblem Revelations with an S, even though it's Fire Emblem Revelation, like no S. It's a single revelation. It's not a plural revelations. So I'm sure that bothers exactly like 5 people in the universe, and I am one of them. But oh, they didn't even give you a bow, even though it's like your whole thing. Okay. See, like, why are we getting, like, a pre-promote, like, Reina now, but we get, like, Setsuna in, like, 40 chapters from now? That is one thing. Actually, that would be an interesting thought exercise, is going through Revelation and, like, switching around, like, the recruitment so that it, like, actually, like, you recruit in, like, an order that makes sense.
That went well.
I'm gonna look up a recruitment list here real quick. As soon as I see what people have been reblogging. Oh shit, Frederick's currently ahead of Crom. Don't prove me wrong, Cole. I made a very bold statement that Crom was in this whole thing. Ryan wears a suit under his armor, makes me into and has an arguably best crit phrase. If Frederick wins this entire thing off of the back of pick a god and pray, I am concluding that there is no god. Did I not just... I'm sorry, they come back? What the heck? Whatever, it's fine. I'm fine. Please help end Crom's reign of terror.
Fare thee well.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the spike traps apparently respawn if you step on them again. Which I don't understand why, but I guess we'll just roll with it.
We weren't finished.
Okay, let's see. Serenus usually has a list. Okay, I guess I'll send Rinka up this way. I was also kind of hoping to leave this sortie until the end so I could make sure I got that chest, but I guess that's not gonna happen, so moving on with our lives. Okay, let's just get everybody off of the freaking spike traps if we can. So it will provide excellent experience for
We can do this.
Sakura here. Do the Festals heal less than the staves? Or does it matter? Does it say? Restores some HP to a nearby ally, restores some HP to an adjacent ally. Why would you ever use the heals if you have the Festals, if there's no drawbacks, right? Should've shoved, whatever. I'm just gonna have Reina waiting in the rings. Okay. Rings? Rings? They're hard. Okay. So I feel like the early recruits for Revelation are fine. Like, you got your Jagan, you got your Butler. Whichever one you picked. Actually, I do wish they let you pick between Felicia and Jacob. On which one you wanted to get first, because it sucks if you, like, prefer Felicia, but you also just, like, want to play as a woman. Okay, he's not gonna move, though. Mozu's fine.
We can do this.
I guess the problem really with Revelation recruitment is not like the order you necessarily get them in, but the fact that like because they have to cover like 2 games of words. Because they have to cover like 2 games worth of cast, you have to have it so like Nor needs like 2 archers, and then Hoshido also needs like 2 archers, but then Revelation then has 4 archers. And the only good one is Takumi, so don't come for me. You know it in your heart to be true. He's like the one good archer in the Fire Emblem series. Archers. Yeah, exactly.
Allow me to join.
My boy got done so dirty in Fire Emblem Heroes. I mean, he was good when it first came out, but you know, did not age that well. Okay. I'll write this down. wouldn't even call them notes, just like things I randomly thought of at 4 o'clock in the morning that I thought might make a good discussion topic on stream. Like, do y'all think that we're ever getting, I mean, I know we're eventually getting, but like, what do you think the next Nintendo console is gonna be? Are we talking about Yesterday Grace?
Your battle has ended.
Not anymore, apparently. I have been thinking about like, cause like the Switch has got to be coming to the end of its lifespan soon, right? And I've been thinking about like, you remember how a couple years back everyone was like, oh, we're like totally gonna have like a home console version of the Switch. We're totally gonna get like a Switch Pro that's like just the home console version. And then we got the OLED instead, and everybody was like, oh, they didn't give us a home console Switch? Which, like, I don't know. Thinking back on it, I feel like it's actually kind of obvious that we... Okay, I don't want to say this, because I'm probably gonna be, like, if I get proven wrong, it's gonna be super embarrassing, but, like, is Nintendo gonna... I feel like Nintendo is going to do something no one is going to expect. I feel like they are definitely going to keep with like the hybrid concept. I don't think they're abandoning the hybrid concept at all.
You won't stop me.
Switch I new Excel. God. But I think they're definitely keeping the hybrid concept because
I'm here to help.
well, like the hybrid concept obviously works. And like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the people who were like, oh, we need like a home Switch console. I also hope for backwards compatibility. I do think they're gonna stick backwards compatibility in there. I think they would be dumb not to. Especially if they keep with the hybrid concept. I think they would be stupid not to make it backwards compatible. Especially because of like, I mean, y'all saw the trouble that like Sony and Xbox were going through at the start of this console generation. I mean, it's the PS5 came out like 5 years ago. Not 5 years ago. When did the PS5 start coming out? Like 2021? And they still can't consistently keep stock on the shelves? And like, honestly, like the only thing saving it is the fact that they do have backwards compatibility. So if you skip to the PlayStation 4, there's like actually a reason to buy a PlayStation 5 over just getting like the more easily available PlayStation 4. Right? But I feel like a Switch home console would kind of like fundamentally undermine like what Nintendo is trying to go for, because Nintendo has like, ever since like PlayStation and Xbox came onto the scene, right? Nintendo has like never really dominated the home console market again in the same way that they used to. And I feel like they know that, and I feel like that's why the Switch is what it is because they're like, okay, we know we don't have the home console market, but we dominate the handheld market. So we make a handheld that just works as a home console. You know, like, but I feel like the handheld was the priority there, not the home console. And like part of that is to do with like the Japanese market, right?
Are you all right?
Because in Japan, you know, a lot of people don't have a lot of just space. There's not necessarily like a lot of space for them to like have things. Just like out and about and cluttering their homes. So the Switch was like perfect for that kind of market because you can use it on like your TV, but you don't have to have a TV to use it. You can just use it with the screen that comes with it. This guy's gonna like body me if I come over here, isn't he? And like, I think that's something a lot of like, okay, like, I feel like that's like the American market kind of like centering themselves as like the most important market too, where they're like, well, we want a home console. It's like, okay, but like, I don't necessarily think that would be very profitable for the Japanese market. And I think that Nintendo is like aware of that, which I think is why they haven't done it, because I feel like if they were gonna do it, they would have done it by now. If they do like a separated home console, I think it's gonna be the next generation of consoles. And I feel like Nintendo is also aware, just like saying like, I think they're aware on some level that like, who is gonna buy a Nintendo Switch Pro, right? Because here's the thing. I feel like if you were gonna play console games, you probably would have just bought one of the other consoles by now. You stand in my way to becoming king of Mokushu. I'll prove my right to rule by wiping you out.
Allow me to join.
Cause like, I know like even back in the day, right? Like,
Watch your back, child.
if I wanted to buy a game on a console that wasn't Nintendo exclusive, I had like a PlayStation, and I bought it there. Because PlayStations are just like better home consoles.
Hey,
Kotaro of Mokushu, you will answer to me.
what?
I answer to no one. Who are you to suggest otherwise?
My name is Saizo.
I am Saizo the Fifth, servant to the Hoshida royal family.
Yes.
Saizo, that's familiar. I believe I've murdered others of your pitiful lineage. How dare you? My father was an honorable man. Honorable, maybe. Weak, definitely. That balding old fool had the audacity to lecture me. So naturally, I put an end to his life. I knew you were the one responsible for his death, coward. Isn't this a stroke of luck? To fell both father and son with the same blade, how poetic. I'm about to rewrite your poem.
Yes.
Please, if you're anything like your father, you won't land a single blow. But yeah, I feel like you have a Switch to play like Nintendo games. How's that? Did I land a single blow? Oh! Saizo coming for your throat. Okay. Fitting. Father, you are avenged. I didn't realize he had like after battle dialogue too. I would have used him so much sooner to kill this guy. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people who are buying a Switch are probably like, in the Western market at least, either like they already own a console or they do more of their like hardcore gaming on PC. So I do genuinely think there's a question of like, who would even buy like a Switch Pro at this point?
Glad to help.
Because anything that, okay, also that's another thing you have to consider is like, if you make a Switch Pro, unless you make games just for the Switch Pro, you are going to have to design them to work on all versions of the Switch. Which means that you either have to like divide up development resources to make it run differently on two of the same-ish console, or you have to build it for the lowest common denominator anyways, which is probably gonna be like the Switch Mini or whatever they call it. What do they call that thing? The handheld, the one that's like only a handheld. Why am I blanking on this? The light, the Switch Lite, yeah. Switch Lite. I don't know why I called it the Mini. So yeah, so you're gonna have to design it for the Switch Lite anyways, which means that you're going to have to make it like you're not gonna be able to take full advantage of like a full-on home console version of the Switch anyways. Which means that it's completely pointless to make a higher powered machine that's just gonna have to run the same software as the lowest common denominator version of the console, right? Unless you make games specifically for that, which they tried that with like the new Nintendo 3DS, and I think that they noticed that it wasn't really that successful. Because who's gonna make a game that only works on the highest performing device? Especially if said highest performing device is going to be, let's give Takumi the kill. Especially if the highest performing device is also going to be the one people buy the least amount of, right? Like, I think the Xenoblade Chronicles port for 3DS only worked on the new Nintendo 3DS.
Not my fault you're weak.
And like, they probably didn't sell that many copies of it. Smash maybe also only worked for the highest one, but whatever. Alright, we've taken care of the enemy. Where's Kagero?
Big sister!
I found her, Corrin, over here! Oh, she has jiggle physics, I never noticed. Great. Lady Corrin, what are you doing here? Last I had heard, you'd betrayed Lord Ryoma and fled the battlefield.
Please!
No, that was a misunderstanding. She hasn't betrayed anyone. If you need proof, well, I'm traveling with her, so is Takumi. I see, Lady Corrin. I ask for your forgiveness.
No.
No, don't worry about it, Kagero. I'm just glad you're safe.
Are you alright?
Kagero, are you injured?
Saizo.
Saizo, you're here as well. Why is everyone in Mokushu? Isn't it obvious we came to save you?
Thank you.
And I'm indebted to all of you. The nature of my job requires that I be prepared to give my life every day. Thank you for making sure today wasn't that day. Now I can pass along the message that Lord Ryoma gave me. So you know where our lord is.
Yes.
Yes, when I left him, Lord Ryoma was on his way to Shiev, near the Norian border. Yep,
Yes.
correct. The area is currently fighting against Norian forces. Apparently, the people could no longer take Norian oppression and have rebelled. It is Lord Ryoma's objective to befriend the rebels and use them to cross into Nor. Our lord has not lost his reckless habits, I see. He's visiting his girlfriend again? Yeah, because he cares more about his girlfriend than he does about his little brother, obviously. We must locate him before anything happens.
Sister.
Corrin, let's head to port. We'll need a boat in order to reach Shiev.
Understood.
Alright, we better hurry. We're gonna need Ryoma's help. I don't know why, but I think he might know about the dragon Archduke Azano spoke of. Fuck, Ryoma has a girlfriend? Why didn't he tell us? I get the sense that, like, the Hoshiden family's dinners are very quiet. They all sit down at a table and it's just dead silent. You know, Takumi spends the entire time playing on his phone. or texting his boyfriend or whatever it is he does. And Ryoma just eats silently, and then he stands up at the end and he's like, okay, good dinner. And everybody's just like,
I know it's unlike me.
We don't
to
have
ask.
anything to say to each other, I guess.
Please kiss me. That was memorable. Thank you, my love.
Ryoma seems like the vibe of like a guy who would like insist on family dinners, but then like not understand that the point of family dinner is like he would be the one to like read the research that like, oh, family dinners improves like learning
nice room here.
and like
Invite
memory
me back.
retention and like, you know, the familial bond, but then he doesn't understand that you actually have to talk to your younger siblings for that to work. They all just eat dinner silently. I don't know where this headcanon came from. I'm probably projecting a little bit. Moving on. I don't want Norian boyfriends in this house, and then he arrives with Scarlet and or Xander. Exactly. And Takumi's like, hey, you can bring your Norian partners. I almost said spouses, but they're not married. Why can't I bring Leo? And Ryoma's just dead ass, like, because I don't like Leo. And Takumi's like, that's understandable, but also, I'm the only one who's allowed to hate my boyfriend. Are we assuming Takumi actually listened? I mean...
Like coming...
What do you think Ryoma would do if he just showed up with Leo, right? To dinner one night? What do you think would happen? I think there would be a murder. Like, it'd be one of those things where, like, Takumi would, like, come home from school. Sorry, this turned into a modern Hey You, but, like, Takumi would come home from school, and he'd, like, walk in the house, and Ryoma would, like, open the door to greet him, and he'd have Leo behind him. Like, Takumi would have Leo behind him, they came home together, and Ryoma would, like, come, greet them at the door, open the door, Takumi would walk through, and then as Leo was about to walk over the threshold, he'd just, like, slam it in his face. And he'd be like, I don't like your boyfriend. And Takumi would be like, I don't like my boyfriend either, but I'm the only one who's allowed to have that opinion.
Rest in peace.
You know, kind of like an I can insult my family, but you can't insult my family kind of a deal. Leo sneaks into Takumi's room secretly at night, maybe when everyone else is— oh, they would do that. I'm talking about like family dinner, not like their shenanigans. Their teenage shenanigans that they get up to. Okay, let's go. I'm back for more, Gunter. I had a feeling you'd be back. You need to stretch, or are you ready? Ready as I'll ever be. There's no way I'm missing one of your throws. Alright, here we go. Easily caught. I have to say, Gunter, you have excellent form and follow-through. You know, I just remembered, wasn't this ball made from a whip? It was indeed. A pretty odd choice for material, I know. Gunter, would you be willing to tell me a few stories from when I was growing up? I still have a lot of holes in my memory from when I was little. Of course, but you'll have to pay attention to the ball at the same time. Did I ever tell you how come I made this ball from a whip? No. King Garen was in an especially foul mood one day. He summoned me and handed me a whip. You must teach Korin to behave, he said, almost yelling. Was I truly that problematic? Not in the least. In fact, you were really closed off around everyone. King Garen was greatly displeased by that. So I took the whip from him and I made my way to your room. I thought I was ready, but one look at your face. I turned right around, returned to my room, and broke that whip down into leather. And that's what this ball is made from. What an unexpected turn. You turned something meant to punish me into a toy. Indeed, I knew that striking you wouldn't ever get you to open up to anyone. So I came up with a different method, one that used this ball. I returned to your room sometime later, and I rolled the ball over to you, which I immediately picked up, examined, and threw back to you. Oh, you remember this part. Good. Of course, no sooner did you catch it than you were throwing it back to me again. Something about such a simple game really was fun to me. For some reason, okay, I don't remember what exactly it says in the male Korin version of this, but for whatever reason, they made, like, the female Korin version, like, Garen wanted me to whip you, and in the male Korin version, it's, like, not that at all for some reason. Something about such a simple game was really fun to me. I suppose that was when I started to see you as a father figure. Oh god, they can get married after this, can't they? You are much too kind. Look at what you've made me do. Gunter, it's rare that you miss a catch. My sincerest apologies. There was something in my eye. Getting sentimental in your old age? Hang on, I'll get you a handkerchief. Yeah. A little uncomfortable. If Takumi is about me, there could totally be a Romeo and Juliet element. Imagine, though, if, like, Ryoma heard Leo sneaking into his room at night. Okay, let's see. Let's just go for it. Hello, Jacob. Would you be able to do a favor for me? Prince Takumi, what is it you need of me? I need some assistance in my training, and I thought you'd be just the person to help. Me? Why? There must be others with much more suitable for you to train with. Because it seems like you can keep a secret. I want to do some special training, but I would rather others not know about it. I see. You would prefer people only see the results of your hard work and not the work itself. No, that's not what I meant. Though I suppose, if you wanted to put it simply, that isn't incorrect. In any case, it seems you have a few misconceptions about me. You should know I am very, very bad at keeping secrets, even small ones. Granted, I will happily keep all of Lady Korin's secrets until I die. But that courtesy is not extended to anyone else. I suppose I cannot trust you to see me train in private, then. I apologize, Prince Takumi. I'm completely dedicated to Lady Korin. And you seem to have mistaken me for an accomplished fighter. I'm a simple butler, if you want to refine your skills in making tea, though. Now you're just lying. I've seen you fight on the battlefield. Of course, I will defend my liege to the end of time. That said, training with others is not exactly in my job description. You say that, but I'm starting to suspect you're just not willing to make the effort. My apologies. The duties and requirements of a butler are numerous. I must dedicate all of my time to them. Fine, I'll keep in mind that you can't be relied upon in these matters. Thank you for your understanding, Prince Takumi. Jacob, this is exactly why I should have married you to Saizo if I didn't. No, right, because Saizo was getting married to Laszlo for the I don't dance factor. Well, not for that factor, but guess who's back? Back again. What's up? I can kind of see Ryoma doing nothing about it, even though he hears and pretends to be asleep, but tease Takumi in private later. I kind of like overprotective big brother Ryoma, just like barging into his room midway through whatever Leo and Takumi were doing, and just like absolutely throwing Leo out a window. Defenestrate him, if you will. And this is unusual. I'm actually done everything on my list for today. Maybe I'll sit back and have a cup of tea before I turn in. There's that book I've been meaning to finish too. Lady Gorin, what are you doing in here? Boro, why are you up so late? I'm cleaning. Couldn't you tell by my mop and broom? In the dead of night, though? Great, so I've got my duties and training to attend to during the day. This is really the only chance I get. Now stop loafing around, Lady Gorin. You're in my way. Don't you leave that book there. Take it with you. Ugh, so much for a relaxing evening. I suppose the chores must be done, even if it is nearly midnight. Is there anything I can do to help you? Boro, did you hear the question? Oh yeah. Really? You seem anguished over something. Forget it. Now shoo, I've got to sweep in here. I'm going. Ryoma heroically carries Leo out, bridal style. Nah, man. Ryoma's just shanking him. Looks like you're girded for battle, Orochi. Who's your quarry? You. Oh, and what grave offense have I committed now? Just being yourself. Oh, shit! Orochi, this is why you're my wife that will never be in this playthrough. So I've been offending you all my life. Pretty much, you've always had a bad attitude. Me, looked in the mirror lately? You see, that's just what I mean. You're prickly, stuffy, arrogant. Please continue, I don't have better things to do. How can you not care what people are saying about you, women in particular? Oh, now you've got my ear. We're all on the same side, Saizo, yet you seem to despise nearly everyone. I've heard the women of our group say how hard you and Kaze are, oh god. How you and Kaze are like night and day. This is getting better by the second. Do women do nothing but gossip? Maybe I am like night, or a dark cloud, perhaps a bad dream. I don't care. I'm putting Saizo in emo kid theater group. Please berate me, Mommy Orochi. No, I'm with you. But yeah, like, Saizo, I'm putting you in emo theater kid jail. A, where everyone lives. I see Ryoma as an overprotective brother, but Makoto and Sumeragi adopt Leo almost instantly. I can see that. How callous. Last chance, Saizo. Mend your ways, or I'll have to take matters into my own hands. Do what you will. Saizo, I'm not kidding. I've known you forever, and I know things. Sorry, I just noticed that I have, like, Steam open, and somebody on my friends list is, like, playing a game, and it keeps, like, popping up with notifications, so I need to close that real quick. Hopefully that didn't, like, show anything weird. Ooh, Steam friend. Yeah, I have, like, 4 total, ever. I don't add a lot of people on Steam, just because I don't play any multiplayer games, so I have no reason for Steam friends, really, other than just, like, people I know in real life. And, like, the 2 times I've had Steam friends that I, like, didn't know beforehand, it got weird. I had this friend in high school, and her boyfriend was, like, really, like, oh, like, let's be Steam friends, or whatever, and I was like, fine, whatever, you know. And he just, like, bought me a game out of, like, absolutely nowhere. He was, like, trying to bribe me to like him, because I didn't like him. And he underestimated the fact that, you see, I don't actually care if you buy me things. It's not going to make me like you if you're not a good person. And he gave me all kinds of skeevy vibes. But I took the present anyway because I was like 16 and broke and I really wanted the game. Probably shouldn't have taken it, but you know what? That's for hindsight. What is it with like people who are like fundamentally unlikable thinking that they can just like buy your affection? Okay, I've done this paralogue 2 times. Free game, I respect it. I'm like, I don't know, I go back and forth on this as I get older, because I'm like, yeah, like technically it probably wasn't right for me to accept it. But also part of me is like, well, if you're gonna try and bribe me, I don't see why, like, I shouldn't just take it. You know, like, it's your fault for thinking that I would, like, actually like you after giving me this thing. Why would you think that? Was it a good game, though? I think it was the remake of Devil May Cry 4. So, yes, it was a good game. Not that I haven't actually beaten it yet, though. I played it a little bit, but, this was on my old computer that couldn't, like, run the game properly. So, I really wanted to play it, and I tried playing it, and it was horrible. Like, laggy, I mean. Like, my computer just couldn't run it. It was an old computer. And so I was like, oh, I'll get back to it later, and then I never got back to it. Yeah, then Devo take it. It's a free game, isn't it? Yeah. Again, I'm like, do I really, like, just not want to have this game to have some kind of, like, perceived moral high ground over the guy? And, you know, if I didn't accept it, it would have caused a problem with my friend who was dating him at the time. Just like, it was a whole thing. I will say, though, whenever people try and buy my affection, they at least have good taste. Like, I had a creepy, like, incel stalker type in college, and he bought me Persona 5 to try and, like, win my affections. That one I kind of felt weird if I didn't accept it because it was a birthday present, actually. So I kind of felt like I had to accept it because I didn't want to be rude and be like, no, I don't want this birthday present you gave me. Even though he probably, like, in our very brief friendship, spent, like, at least $250 on me, and we were friends for, like, 2 months.
The pain will pass.
I did give him some of the gifts back, and, like, I don't want this, but, like...
We have won.
Yeah. That was also stuff that I just, like, didn't want, though. He was like, hey, I bought you, like, this... Oh, okay, you know, I don't know if I've ever told this story on stream. I've definitely told it, but I don't know if I've told it on stream. So, if he's watching, because he did actually know my online handle. Hi, you were really creepy. But yeah, what happened was... I had, like, just made friends with this guy, right? I was an undergrad in college, and it was my second year there. And he was living in my dorm. He was on the same floor as me. And I met him, because I had my door open on, like, in the first week of classes to try and make friends, because I didn't really have a lot of friends at college because of a whole other story that I'm not going to get into at the moment, but... so I was trying to make friends, and he comes in, and, you know, I have a bunch of, like, nerd shit. I'd already fully unpacked. I had a bunch of nerd shit everywhere, you know? And so he, like, looked at my door, and he's like, oh, she seems cool, and, like, came in. And... yeah, so... he, like, so we were friends like that, and it became pretty clear to me pretty early that he had a thing for me. And I'm not, like, the type to where, like, yeah, I'm not into men, right? Like, I didn't know that at the time, necessarily. I knew I wasn't attracted to him, I just didn't realize at the time that I wasn't really attracted to anybody. So, I knew I wasn't attracted to him, and I made that very obvious from, like, the get. As soon as I figured out that he, like, kind of had a thing for me. And he would insist, swear up and down, constantly, like, no, I don't have a thing for you.
Oh.
I was like, well, it kind of feels like you have a thing for me. No, I don't have a thing for you. Like, everybody else says that I have a thing for you, but, like, they just don't understand. They just think men and women can't be friends, like, that whole thing. And I'm like, you know, I was still like, I'm pretty sure he has a thing for me, but I'm not gonna sit here and argue about the way he feels. Like, if that's something that wants to come out, he can say it. But in the meantime, I'm like, I'm not gonna argue about, like, whether or not you have a thing for me. And I'm not gonna, like, not be someone's friend because they have a thing for me unless they're creepy about it. 'Cause, you know, like, if they have a thing for me and they acknowledge it and they know I don't feel the same and they're like, you know, like, oh, you know, I have a thing for you, but, like, I value our friendship and I want to be friends too, so if you don't have a thing for me, that's fine, you know. Like, if you don't like me back, that's fine. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, you have a thing for me, therefore we can never be friends again. So, that was the kind of headspace I was in at the time. And he kept buying me shit. Like, he thought that was gonna win me over. And he just kept buying me things. And, like, the first time, it was, like, really weird, because I had needed to go to, like, the local, like, Walgreens or CVS or, like, whatever, convenience store and pick up, like, a flash drive. Because I had just discovered that my Nintendo Wii U, I had a Wii U, had lost all of my Hyrule Warriors save data. Which is a game I had put like 300 hours into. And so I was like, shit. So I was like, I'm gonna back up all of this data to like a flash drive or something. I mean, it was gone already, but you know. I was like, for next time I wanna have a flash drive. And we go and we're like walking around, you know, like the convenience store. And if you've ever been to one, I know I have a lot of European viewers here. If you've ever been to one, you know that they don't just, like, they sell, like, makeup and stuff there, too. And we were walking past the makeup aisle. And, you know, I'm kind of just, like, looking at it as I walk by. I don't really wear makeup, like, in general. I just don't, like, I don't, it's not that I don't even like putting it on. It's that, like, I forget to wear it all the time. So even if I do buy makeup, I, like, never remember to, like, actually, like, put it on and, like, wear it. So most of the time I just don't bother, right? Because if I buy it, it's gonna go back. Well, anyways, we're walking by.
Fare thee well.
And I've known him for, like, a week or two at this point. Definitely long enough for him to pick up on the fact that I don't wear makeup. And I see, like, this, like, blue eyeshadow, and I was like, oh, that's, like, a nice color. You know, like, that's a nice color of blue eyeshadow. That's literally all I said. And he comes back to my room, like, you know, like, we go, we buy the flash drive, we leave, I get back to the room, and, like, an hour later, he shows up in my room, and he's like,
Let's go.
hey, look, I got you that eyeshadow that you offhandedly mentioned thinking had a pretty color. And I was like, oh, that's fucking weird. Why would you do that? Because I'm like, I don't like makeup. I don't wear makeup. I literally was just like, that's a pretty color of blue. Yeah, it was super, super weird. And, you know, I had to be like, do you, like, have a thing for me? Because, like, you know, normally you don't just go randomly buying girls makeup. That's a little bit weird. Yeah, I might have shared this before.
It had to be
Yeah,
done.
I'm like that, you know, that's a little bit weird that you would just buy a girl that you barely know makeup, you know, like, I even, like, checked in, because at this point, I had made some friends in the dorms, with some of the other people on my floor, and, you know, I checked in with them. They were all girls. Ladies, women, if you will, sorry. I'm trying to break the habit of saying girls, But yeah, I checked in with them, and I was like, this, like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, this is weird. And they're like, no, this is definitely, like, weird. Like, you know, like, my boyfriends, or my partners, don't even buy me makeup. Because, like, they know, like, you know, like, makeup's, like, a really personal thing. Some people have, like, brands that they like, or, you know, like, that's something you get for somebody that you know really well. And, like, you kind of know, like, what they like. So, like, no, that's, like, really weird of him. And I was like, okay, it's not just me. But he kept swearing up and down, like, no, I don't have a thing for you. Yeah. So, that was weird. So that was, like, the kind of tone of gift giving. And I basically told him, like, oh, like, I don't want you to buy me things like this. Okay? Like, I just didn't want him to go buy me, like, things in general. You know, like, I don't want you to, like, randomly show up to my room with, like, a freaking eyeshadow palette and just be like, I got this for you. Like, no. When I said I got this for you, I was just reminded of, like, Leo's attack quote in Fire Emblem Heroes, his Valentine's alt, where he's like, I got you something. But yeah, that wasn't the only creepy thing he did, like, don't get me wrong, but that was, like, one of the early signs that I probably should have gotten the hell out. Yeah, no, he was creepy enough that, like, my RA, who hated his job, was like, do you want me to do something? And, like, I cannot stress how much my RA hated his job. Like, he did not want to do his job over anything. He would only jump on if it was, like, an actual, like, emergency or something, like, really serious. So, yeah, even my RA was like, do you need me to do something about this? Like, do you need me to, like, write a report or, like, call someone? And I was like, no, like, it's fine. Because at that point I had ended the friendship and I was like, it's over. You know, if he doesn't leave me alone, maybe.
That was a good fight.
Thankfully, after, like, a couple of weeks, he's, like, stopped trying. But yeah, I have told part of the story in conjunction with some things that happened in the Fire Emblem fandom. With that one guy who's, like, really into Edelgard and was, like, really creepy with, like, other women. Not in the Fire... Okay, he wasn't creepy with women in the Fire Emblem fandom that I know of. He was allegedly... I'm just gonna tag that in. He was alleged... I've been watching a lot of, like, drama videos as well, so... he was allegedly really creepy with women in, like, another fandom of his, But I found out about it because when it came out that he was creepy with those women, people in the Fire Emblem fandom knew who this guy was, and, like, shared it around, so it got back to me, obviously. So I think I talked about this on, like, my side blog, like over a year ago at this point. Maybe even 2 years ago, I don't even remember when that happened. It might have been 2021. So yeah, I told little details about that, but, like, yeah. That's the other thing, too, is I'm like, you know what? If I have to live in a world where men are just, like, creepy toward me, sometimes I might as well get a free game for my troubles, you know? Sorry, that makes it sound like I'm like a gold digger or something. I would prefer that nobody buy me presents to try and bribe me to get me to like them. But if it has to happen, at least I think that was my mentality at the time, is like, you know what, I live in a world where like, I'm just gonna get men acting like this toward me. And it sucks. And I don't like it, but like, ugh, at least I got Devil May Cry out of it, right? I can't wait for somebody to like clip that out and like cancel me. It does sound like I'm trying to justify it a little bit. Maybe I am. That's why 2D men are greater than real men? I know. I don't know, maybe I am, like, internally still trying to justify it a little bit, because it's not something I'm necessarily proud of. It's just not something I'm necessarily going to, like, draft a ukulele-based apology over or something. I decided to be into ladies exclusively, yeah. Congratulations, Lee.
Good.
Well, I found out later, too, it's just like, you know, at that point, I was, like, not, like, aware of my sexuality. It's not something I had ever really, like... I mean, it's something I had thought about, because I did realize somewhere in there that I was, like, not like the heterosexual peers of mine, but, like, I didn't know exactly how until, like, later in college. I just knew that I, like, wasn't particularly attracted to a lot of men. Yeah.
Fare thee well.
So yeah, that probably would have saved me a lot of headache if I could have just been like, hey, I'm not into men at the time, but I had to go with the classic, hey, I'm not at all attracted to you. Which honestly should be enough, right? You would think, but never is. There's always an element of like, ooh, maybe if I buy you enough stuff, I can trick you into being attracted to me. It's like, that's not how it works. They really do think that women are just like that dumb and shallow. Where it's like, if you're not a good person, you can just buy us enough stuff and we'll like you. And it's like, that's not how it has ever worked.
I'm
Or like, oh, if I'm just desperate enough, she'll be into me. It's like, no, it's not. I don't like guys who are... I don't like people who are, like, desperate like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not attractive to be like, I will just subsume my entire personality and be whatever you want. Like, I don't find that appealing. I'm not sure anybody does. Okay, there are probably some people who do. Those are not people you want to date. Okay, Takumi, don't miss. Good boy. Ariana Grande. I don't know enough about Ariana Grande for that, but from what I've gathered, yes. The ultimate... Okay, I'm not saying Ariana Grande is the ultimate form of pick-me, but like when women do that, like I will just be whatever you want. It is like the ultimate form of pick-me. He uses her entire style persona every time she has a new guy. I had a friend like that back in the day. All of these stories, sorry, all of my most interesting stories are old. Because now that I'm like an adult, I don't hang out with people who are, like, interesting enough to tell stories about in this way. You know, like... Like, I don't hang out with people who do this stuff anymore. Takumi isn't afraid of the faceless, or just the ghost? I know he's afraid of ghosts. I don't think he ever expresses a fear of faceless. Unless we're counting that one, the EXP DLC where he's, like, kind of freaking out. But I don't remember what exactly he says there.
This could be tough.
Okay, one paralog down. I think we're gonna go get Shigure before we do the next story chapter. Alright, we finished off the last of the faceless. Oh wait, no, I already read this. I'm not reading this again. Kidding me? I have things to do. Okay, Hayato and Hana. Hey Hayato, about the other day. What is it? Are you still mad? I told everyone that you don't actually like flowers, you know. Oh yeah? What was the reaction? Well, there weren't many who thought you liked flowers before I said anything. They just kind of shrugged when I told them I was mistaken. You look like you're still angry. Alright, as long as they don't still think I like flowers, I can forgive you. Thank you, Hayato. But to make things up to me, you'll have to keep on helping. You have to keep helping me get rid of the purses. What do you mean? They sent me more. Apparently making purses is a fad back home right now. It's getting ridiculous. See this one here? Oh my, it's so adorable. I just don't see it. Oh, by the way, did you notice any purses that had a cherry blossom pattern? I didn't see any in this box, but I'm sure there are more to come. Well, if you see one that has that pattern, I call it, okay? Don't keep it for yourself. Why would I? I get it. Anyway, why cherry blossoms? I'm Lady Sakura's retained. Oh, for some reason I thought that the cherry blossom thing came up earlier in the support. And that's what her name means. I was planning to give her one with that pattern, but I didn't see any. I see, so you want to show your loyalty and appreciation? Yep. Oh, what about a Camellia? Camellia? Chameleon. Camellia flower pattern for Tsubaki. Wait, he's a guy, so he might like you. He might be like you and hate the floral thing too. Never mind that then, just the cherry blossoms. Try to remember for you. Thanks so much. I'm sorry. I've said karma, chameleon, and now it's going to be stuck in your head all day for the rest of time. Rinka, over here. You need something done? Sort of. I'd like to ask your opinion on something. Take a look at this map. If we're positioned here and the enemy attacks from here, what should we do? The unit detached and came at them from the river. Do you think they'd cluster? If so, we could hit them with a volley, but then if we fail, the attacking force might rout. Rinka, are you listening to me? You know as well as I that I am not a tactician. Why are you here? Hoping to make friends? I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm just here to carry out orders, nothing more. Farewell. Hey, wait, I'm not done talking yet. I have nothing to discuss with you. Leave me alone. No, I can't do that. We're allies. I have to be able to communicate with you. It's not what I meant. I will still listen to you and follow any orders you wish to give. But otherwise, don't speak to me. What's wrong with you? Ugh. My apologies. Perhaps I went too far. This is no way to talk to one's superior. I'm grateful that you spared my life when I was your prisoner, and I will follow you wherever you decide to lead us. However, I neither need nor desire your attention. Please leave me alone. Okay. We have a lot of things to build here. Build the Hayato statue. And let's upgrade the Lilith temple.
That
All right.
They won't beat us.
Please allow me.
And go. Come and go. I don't remember the rest of the words to this song because there's only like one lyric.
I'm here.
I'm doing my best, guys, okay? I also had a friend where I started singing Karma Chameleon, and she, like, knew the words. I'm like, who knows all of the words to this song?
Right beside you.
Other than, like, the people who wrote it. Oh, we're gonna lose, aren't we?
Please allow me.
Stealing my kill?
Stealing my kill? That's really Saizo!
Naturally.
Saizo, that's really what you're gonna say? Do you not remember Birthright? Or Conquest? Whichever map you stole all my kills on. Rude. Stealing my kill. Friggin'. Saizo! If you didn't have a child, you would never be getting married in my playthroughs. You would die alone. Okay, let's go get Shigure, because his paralog's really quick. We're just gonna blitz to the end. I'm just skipping all of the dialogue in the paralogs. I hope that's cool with everybody, but we already played them in the other routes, and I really don't want to have to, like, sit here and reread everything. Wait a minute, don't Gunter and Reina have a support in the gay hack? Anna. Oh wait, no, I don't want to bring Mozu. Wait, does Mozu get married to anybody? Oh. Why do I have Kaze and Mozu getting together? Okay, I guess I will keep her. Let's put you over here. Pair you two up, because Tsubaki can just, like, fly right over. We'll just roll with it. Okay, this is just defeat boss, yep. I mean, like, realistically, I don't think they can actually, like, do anything to Corrin here. They're all, like, pretty low level, and Corrin is, like, way over leveled for this point in the game, if I'm being perfectly honest with myself. I guess I'll keep you down here. If they can't get onto the ship in this turn, I'll just leave them. Oh, he moves. The boss moves. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now I need to look up if Takumi's afraid of Faceless. I don't think he is. I don't think that ever comes up unless we're talking about the one map. Fates. What was it called? It was Boot Camp? Where he's like got the ghosties. Or was it the ghostly gold one? Takumi, I'm not afraid of the dark or haunted mountains or that monster over there. When did that get here? Get it away, get it away. Oh, my adorable little baby boy. Doesn't Leo say something about, like, Like the dead envy the living. It's almost second to how much people envy me or something like that, because he's like a snotty little shit. I enjoy basking in the envy that the dead harbor for the living. It's second only to the envy most of the living harbor. Envy most of the living feel toward me. Like, okay, honey. Calm down. Okay, now what did Takumi say in Ghostly Gold then?
Trust me.
Unlike some of these morons, a few of my friends and I took turns sleeping. Hello, not all of us need to keep watch at the same time. I remember that. And then Leo had... These ghosts shall learn what happens when I miss out on a full 8 hours. The next person to call me Grouchy Pants will suffer. Inconsiderate fools. Imagine Takumi calling Leo Grouchy Pants. I love it. Oh, you guys are all mages. Probably should have kept that in mind when I was... Okay, well, you know what? Figure it out. Can he attack? Oh, you can also initiate from one range with point blank. That's probably why they didn't call it point blank in Fire Emblem Heroes, because you can only counter attack from
Not
one
my
range.
fault you're weak.
So I did, when Fire Emblem Heroes first came out, I
Yes.
called close counter point blank for like a solid 3 months.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Ugh, love to see it. Okay.
This is my chance.
Oh shit, hold on. I forgot to set a reminder to update the bracket for next week. 1 second. That'll be next Saturday. PM. Okay, sorry. I need to write reminders in my phone, or I will never remember to actually like update the bangability bracket. He does summon Faceless on a graveyard in Birthright. Leo does, yeah. Did he summon those, or were they just there? I forget if he explicitly summoned them or if he got them from Iago or something. See, Takumi, you're doing it right. You're critting
That
on
was
the
easy.
first hit, not the second one, when it doesn't matter. I think he does summon them. It's very possible. Were there chests on this map somewhere, or am I misremembering? I think I'm misremembering. What am I thinking of? Oh, but she will kill if she hits. We'll just go with Jacob.
Yet another victory.
Well, okay, summoning Faceless is like such a theater kid thing to do. I'm not surprised that Leo does it. I'm just gonna have Hayato stand right there. And maybe I'll bring Kaze down. Okay. Does anyone remember last time what we were supposed to be classing Hayato into to make him good? I know Frisia's ghost said, and I don't remember what they said. And I didn't write it down because I'm dumb.
Be careful.
Oh, ow, that hurt.
Are you hurt?
A lot, actually.
Die already!
That's my baby boy? That is my son, my child. I love you. I feel like, okay, I love Takumi. I feel like I have like two distinct boxes
Yes.
in like my head when it comes to Fire Emblem characters where I'm like, that's my husband or like that's my child, and there's like no overlap, you know? Like that's my wife or that's my baby, you know? Like I'm like, Sakura is like my daughter. Takumi is like my son who I write fanfic about, but you know, don't. This analogy got weird actually. Forget I said anything. We're just gonna axe that whole conversation. I feel like normally I don't write fanfiction about the characters where I'm like, oh, like that's like my child. But I feel like when Fates came out, I was around. Sorry, Azura, I'm gonna talk over you. I feel like when Fates came out, I was like around Takumi's age. So it was like, oh, that's like me. You know, because like a big reason why I love Takumi is because I'm like, oh, like I relate like crazy to this character. Speaks for his talent. I'm pretty sure Leo wouldn't accept anything from Iago or get rid of it. That's fair. Oh, but yeah, like when Fates first came out, I was like, oh, that's like me. Like I like relate to this like a lot. And that's like why I like Leo and Takumi so much. And then now that I'm an adult, I mean, I still relate to them, just maybe like not on the same like level. It's more like that's how I used to be, not so much like that's how I am. And so when I write fanfic about them, it's more like it's less like viewing like a child and more like viewing like my past self almost, because I would write fanfic about myself. That I don't have a problem with.
Hey? Welcome.
When I played Fates, I was about Leo and Takumi's age as well, yeah. I'm guessing a lot of us probably were. Prom Dimitri your husband's, but Takumi's my child, yeah. But like I write fanfic about Takumi.
Too bad.
I mean, okay, I guess like
Thanks for visiting.
I guess something a lot of people don't necessarily get about like fan fiction is that like even if you write something that's like NSFW, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, like I want to like, you know, like if I write something like NSFW about Takumi, it's not like, oh, like I think Takumi is sexy. It's like I'm writing it for like the story or the emotions or like the just like whatever, and sometimes that will include NSFW stuff, but that doesn't mean like, oh, I want to bang Takumi. I would never bang Takumi. Like he just like, even setting aside the fact that I view him in like almost like a maternal way in some cases, it's like I don't find
Hi, welcome.
he just seems like he wouldn't be a very good partner in bed. To me personally, for my specific needs, you know.
Thanks for stopping by.
So I hate that misconception that like if you're writing fanfic about something, that means like you want it, you know? Like if I'm writing NSFW involving Takumi, that means I want to bang Takumi. I don't want to bang Takumi. Like, that's not it. Okay, we already read this one, I know. Okay, I'm gonna skip his one with Azura, Because we already read that, but like... He might have a unique one with corn, so we'll read it. Back to painting again, Shigure? Hello, Mom, I didn't hear you come in. I'm sorry. This is no time for our war, after all. That's not why I asked, sweetie. I wasn't trying to criticize you. Honestly, I feel bad for you. In a different time or place, you might have become a world-famous artist. It's kind of... I'm pretty sure that this is, like... No, this is just the same. This isn't unique. They probably just took the code for male corn, then. Alright, that's lame. But it does get us through it faster. Okay, actually, before we go, I'm gonna do some quick inventory management to make sure... Because I don't want to have to, like, stop off at the thing. I love Takumi and Leo, but it's different. I want to protect Takumi and that nothing bad happens to him. With Leo, I want to punch him in the face and kiss his cheeks at the same time. Exactly. You get it, Liz. Like... And I feel like I'm almost talking, like, in a weird circle with this, where I'm like... I'm not sure it's coming off how I want it to, necessarily. But yeah, like, you don't necessarily write fanfic because you want to do the thing. You write fanfic because the thing is something that you want to explore, either, like, emotionally or, like, conceptually. That's probably a better way of explaining it. It's like the emotional and conceptual exploration that's interesting. And a lot of the times that involves characters that you care about in whatever capacity, you know. If I had like a real human child, I wouldn't be writing fanfic about them, but Takumi's not a real human child. He's an animated teenager in a product that I bought for money, so, you know. The group departs for Norian, occupied Shiev, seeking Ryoma. They secure a ferry to carry them across the sea, but encounter a familiar, unexpected enemy. Sorry, I need to write something down so I don't forget while we're reading the story stuff, but like... It's gonna be about how I feel like this standard almost exists for like, it exists for other media, but I feel like it's harsher when it exists for fan fiction, and I want to go into that more, but like we'll get to the story chapter first. The Norshido map is A+. I love it. I wish though, I do wish, like, for Fire Emblem Fates, that they would have had it act a bit more like Awakening or Engage, where you actually like run across it, because I feel like a big problem with like the Fates map is that it's really hard to get a sense of like position and scale, because you like the game just teleports you across the map, like in how it like transports you, whereas like with Awakening you get like a sense of like position and scale because you actually have to like move your little character between chapters. Anyways. Ooh, we arrived just in time to catch the ferries.
Big sister.
Lauren, you should rest while we have this opportunity to do so. Oh, this is where we get Camilla, right? It feels like we've been fighting constantly.
Yes.
You're right, I'll make sure to take a nap soon. Thanks, Sakura.
My apologies.
Pardon me, milady. The captain says everything is going well. We should reach port tomorrow.
I see.
Thank you, Jacob. Does the sky look darker to you? Yikes, and the boat is starting to rock more than normal. These look like storm clouds out there. Let's get below before rain comes.
Oh.
The boat just lurched to a stop. Are you alright, milady?
Oh.
Yes, I'm fine. Wonder what's wrong. Could we have hit something? I'll have to check. Oh, it's such a little boat. What in the world is going on in the sea? The entire sea has been frozen solid. How could this be? It's impossible for it to get this cold this fast. Especially like salt water? Damn. Lady Corn, do you see that out there? Someone's coming this way. Wait, Lady Camilla. Hi, I love you.
Oh.
Oh, Corin, I'm so glad to see you're unharmed. Ever since your dreadful confrontation with Xander, I've wanted to see you.
Big sister.
Camilla.
You're so cute.
Corin, you're still as cute as ever. But you have to stop thinking of me as your sister. Don't think of me that way. It will be easier for us both to fight if you don't cling to sentimentality.
Huh?
Sister, can't you see that I'm trying to do something good for both kingdoms? I hear your words, but Father's demanded you be put to death. Corin, I love you so much from the very bottom of my heart. But that doesn't mean I can disobey a direct order from Father. It's a tragic end to things, but since you betrayed Nor, I have no choice.
No.
You're wrong, Camilla. I haven't betrayed you or anyone else. Flora, would you be so kind?
Yes.
Yes, milady. Ugh. Lady Corin, I cared greatly for you back at the castle.
No holding back.
But I will show you no mercy. Nor will I allow any harm to come to Lady Camilla.
Get back!
Back, Lady Corin. It's too dangerous. Stop this insanity right now, Flora. Have you come to kill us too? Don't tell me the ocean is frozen because of you.
Jacob.
It is. King Garen commanded that the Ice Tribe eliminate Corin. And we will. If we don't, then the entire tribe will be sentenced to death.
Oh,
You pledged your loyalty to Lady Corin. Or have you forgotten your duties as retainer?
I'm sorry.
I cannot listen to you, Jacob. Nothing you say will change my mind. For the good of the Ice Tribe, I must chill my heart and do what is commanded.
oh!
Damn it, Flora. It's no use, Jacob. We've got no choice but to fight back.
I love you too much to let you go on.
So all I can do for you now is to end your life with my own hands. Come to me, Corin. Let me hear your last words. I'll remember them forever, my beloved little sister. Actually, I wanted to see something. We get Flora on this route, right? Is it still like the recruitment condition with the fire orb? That is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. That is not what I googled. Don't make me think about Fire Emblem 3 Houses right now. Let's see here. We have Flora. One battle after upgrading the launcher, ballista, or fire orb to level 3. Okay. Yeah, okay. I can kind of see why people think of Camilla as psycho. I mean... Yeah, don't condone the use of the expression, by the way, just paraphrasing. Yeah, I don't really like using the word psycho either. Just like... It's not great. I don't love the stigmatization of mental illness, but I do think like there is like the context missing in the English release that, you know, she doesn't necessarily want to be doing it. She's just like, I mean, she's an abused child. She's abused by Garen and she doesn't want to like upset him. By defying or whatever. How do we still not have Silas? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna pair you two up again. But yeah, the main thing the English version did was just like take all of her like it just took out like her entire backstory with like the concubine thing. Which like, yeah, no wonder people thought that she sucked, cause like you literally removed a bunch of like really important context to her character. Of course people had no idea what was going on. Drop something upstairs, that's great. I'm just gonna roll with it, let's go.
Listen.
Listen, Corin, the enemy can use the frozen sea to reach us. We can't reach the ice, but I think we can use the dragon veins on the ocean floor. We just need to wait until the currents aren't obscuring them. Be patient. I don't remember exactly how this map works, but okay. We'll roll with it. I'm kind of confused actually on how this works. But anyways, back to what I was talking about before we started the chapter.
So weak.
I feel like, okay, like, traditional media definitely gets hit with the, like, oh, if you write this, then that means that you support it, or whatever, but, like, I feel like fanfiction gets hit with that a lot more. Dragon Veins appear later, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I feel like fanfiction gets hit with that criticism a lot more because, in part, I think fanfiction is, like, very, like, barefaced about, like, what it is and why it exists. In a way that, like, traditional media is usually not. Because, like, we all know that, like, traditional media is made to, like, you know, capitalism, appeal to people, get their money, everything. But we have this, like, sort of, like, disconnect. 69, nice. We have this sort of disconnect where we, like, seem to think that, like, we can acknowledge that media is created for certain purposes, but we don't hold traditional media, like, to the same standard of, like, yes, this is appealing to something, it exists because people are going to want to buy it or play it or whatever and make money off of it. They do this because it makes money. Like, we don't, like, for some reason, there's just, like, a lack of acknowledgement that that is, like, part of traditional media in a way that, like, I feel like people are very, like, barefaced about saying, like, of, like, you know, using that criticism for fanfiction, even though that's, like, how all traditional media exists. And I feel like I could probably get at this better with, like, an example. The one I have in mind has to do with Fire Emblem Three Houses. So pray for me. Because I'm gonna talk about this, and I'm probably gonna piss somebody off, but whatever. Like, let's just take for a second. We will delve into the deep, dark abyss that is Edelgard discourse. I know.
If I may.
But it really demonstrates my point. Where, like, there are certain people who will, like, refuse to acknowledge that, like, this is a character that was designed to appeal to an audience when you're talking about the canon. Like, if you say, like, Edelgard is a character who was made to appeal to a certain audience, and that audience is generally heterosexual men, right? And I already hear your argument. You're like, but she's bisexual. That does not mean that she was not designed to appeal to heterosexual men. Now, I don't know exactly what was going on in, like, the writer's room or whatever when, you know, she was being conceptualized, but it is just a fact of life that heterosexual men buy video games. Heterosexual men are considered the primary demographic for video games. In many, I mean, like, whether or not that's actually true in reality is kind of irrelevant to my point here, because the thing is, even if they are not in reality the only people who play games, and we know that they aren't, but even if they are not in reality the only people who play games, that often doesn't matter to a marketing team. They will still be the ones who are marketed to. And, like, heterosexual men don't have a problem with relationships where, like, women are in a relationship with another woman. In fact, it's often directly appealing to them because they find it hot, you know? So, that's like, that is something that I have called out since the game released. But it's also something that a lot of people are like weird about acknowledging. They don't want that to be the case. And they will argue with you if you say it. And like, I don't think I'm necessarily saying anything that's like super controversial there. Like, if you take it from the perspective of like, I'm talking about a marketing decision. You know, I'm not saying whether or not heterosexual men are the only demographic. Clearly, other people like her. I'm talking about, like, when they were creating this thing, this is what they had in mind to appeal to. And, like, any other appeal is secondary. You know, if queer women like her, that's great. But that's not what they were necessarily aiming for. Because queer women are just not a huge population, like, in terms of, like, raw numbers, in terms of the world. And they're not who game developers think are going to be playing their games. Because that's just not... Because they believe, still, in many places, that, you know, heterosexual men are the demographic. I think it's invalidating for some reason. I don't know what exactly goes on in their reasoning for this. The people who I've seen most vehemently hate me for pointing this out are heterosexual men. So, like, that's just all I'll say about that. But, like... But yeah, so, like... And there's like a very visceral reaction if you point out that, like, this thing was made to appeal to a certain audience. Like, that's the core of what I'm saying, is this thing was made to appeal to a certain audience, and it did. It appealed to other audiences, but that wasn't necessarily what they were going for. And then at the same time, people will turn around and they'll, like, see that Dimitri has a lot of fan fiction written about him, and they'll be like, oh, well, of course Dimitri has a lot of fan fiction written about him. He was made to appeal to heterosexual women. And it's like, well, yeah. I think most people who write fan fiction about Dimitri will say that they find him appealing. Potentially in part because they are heterosexual women, but plenty of people who aren't heterosexual also enjoy Dimitri. I'm not heterosexual and I enjoy Dimitri. You know, people have various reasons, but, you know, I also acknowledge that, yes, he was, in part... I won't say that he was fully made to appeal to heterosexual women, because I do genuinely think that, like, they weren't necessarily aiming for, like, a female market, like a not necessarily female, but women, heterosexual women, cishet heterosexual women. I don't think that that was their primary target demographic. I think Dimitri was first and foremost just also designed to appeal to heterosexual men. But, like, I think they probably had more consideration for him appealing to heterosexual women, because they're probably also aware that they have a big fandom community for Fire Emblem.
This will do.
And that is primarily women. Like fandom is primarily a female space, women's space. So I think they were probably at least aware of that when they were designing him. I don't think that was necessarily their primary consideration, though. Because I think that if that was their primary consideration, he would have been gay. Or he would have been romanceable by the male avatar. Just because a lot of heterosexual women, queer women too, but heterosexual women, do ship him with men. And if you were trying to appeal to that demographic, like, you would want them to have that. But he's not. He's not romanceable by male Byleth. because they know that that would make heterosexual men uncomfortable, and that's still their primary demographic. Alright, Knightley. But I think it's more acceptable to say, oh, fandom's just obsessed with Dimitri because silly little girls like him, as opposed to saying, like, this character in a paid product was made to appeal to heterosexual men. And I think part of that, at least, is because, like, we as a society kind of have the tendency to, like, belittle women and, like, belittle their interests. And, did I say goodnightly? I'm saying it again just in case I forgot. But we as a society have a tendency to, like, belittle women's interests and treat them as, like, they're lesser. Or they're silly, or they're stupid. And so if you say, like, you know, I think that this character was made to appeal to heterosexual women, it has a very different context to it than if you're calling out something that's appealing to heterosexual men, because, I don't know. I'm just, like, this is just, like, stream of consciousness talking right now, but, like, I do wonder if part of that is because,
This is important.
you know, if we acknowledge that something was made to appeal to women and women find interest in it, we can just write them off as being, like, silly or stupid, you know, like silly little girls, but they're, like, silly little fandom obsessions, and they're, like, silly little, like, quote-unquote delusional fantasies. But if we have to acknowledge that something is made for heterosexual men, we also have to acknowledge that that's just how our society works. Like, we live in a capitalistic society that is going to create things that are designed to appeal to certain groups of people. And then we have to acknowledge that, like, all art isn't necessarily organic or, like, meaningful. It's a product. And I think that scares people. 69, nice.
See? I win.
I think that scares people on some level because they have, it's like, if we have to acknowledge that, you know, Edelgard was made as a product of capitalism, I think the currents have slowed. We should be able to use the dragon veins on the ocean floor now. But yeah, it's like, if we have to acknowledge that Edelgard is a product of capitalism, we have to acknowledge that we bought into the capitalism by liking her. And, like, that's not at all. That is not at all, like, what I think with regards to that. You know, I don't think you're wrong for liking something that's the product of capitalism. But if you don't like capitalism and you suddenly have to acknowledge that you are, like, something in it appealed to you, I think that's scary to people. You know what I mean? Like, they're the same ones who don't like Sylvix because they're just friends and then accuse us of not recognizing friendship between men. Yeah, exactly. And it's like it was made, like, they wrote Sylvix. Like, they wrote that support probably knowing that women would read it and latch onto it and want to do fandom things with it. And possibly, you know, like, queer men would possibly read it and latch onto it and want to do fandom things with it, but I don't think that was necessarily their priority. Then we kind of get into the problem of, like, how frequently, like... Oh god, what am I thinking of? I just noticed that I didn't leave any dragon veins over for these guys. Oops. Anybody who can use dragon veins, I mean. But I think I'm just gonna start. Maybe I'll drop a Boro off here. And then go back for Jacob. Same ones who likes Swix. Oh yeah, we also get to the problem of, like, where, you know, like, women and queer folk are, like, a part of capitalism. Like, they acknowledge that there are things that will appeal to us, but they don't necessarily want to be explicit about it because they don't want to, like, scare off the main audience. Like, you could even if you wanted to argue that, like, Edelgard was, like, made with queer folks in mind at any point in the decision-making process, you also have to acknowledge that they absolutely would not have been caught dead making her bisexual if they thought it would scare off heterosexual men. And, like, it sucks, but, like, that's also just kind of how it is. Like, that's why Dimitri... Like, that's probably why Dimitri isn't bisexual, because they looked at it and they're like, we have this... Like, if they were considering women, they probably looked at it and they said, we have this community of women who like these games and would play them just for, like, the shipping. But it's too dangerous for us to make the male lead here. Either of the male leads, because Claude isn't excluded from this, because he's not bi either. Or he's not a bi for bi-lef option, at least, we'll say that. You know, like, they were like, it's too risky for us to have this character, like, be, like, mechanically bisexual, because we are worried that, you know, men aren't going to relate to a bisexual male lord, or we're worried that men aren't going to want to play as a bisexual male lord. Maybe they'll find him disgusting, maybe they'll find him weird, whatever the straights think. But when you're making a bisexual female lord, they're like, well, even if you don't like, even if you, like, don't relate to a bisexual person, you can still find her hot. Like, you can still find her getting with a woman hot. So, like, it's worth it for us to market it like this. You know, and, like, that's just capitalism. That's just, like, the capitalist hellscape we live in. And I don't think it really does us any favors if we pretend like it's not, you know? And, like, you can acknowledge that something you like is a byproduct of capitalism, but also you still like it, you know? Like, I acknowledge that Dimitri has an appeal for heterosexual women. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like he doesn't. Oh my god, I just noticed the male fighters have battle thongs too?
I did it!
More of that, Fire Emblem Fates. Sorry. But yeah, like, you know, I acknowledge that Dimitri has appeal to heterosexual women. I know he probably wasn't made for queer men, or especially for queer women like me, but, like, that doesn't mean I don't enjoy him, and that doesn't mean that he's any less meaningful to me because of how he was supposed to exist, you know. Hello, I'm Lady Camilla's retainer, Baruka. I'm here to sink this boat and kill its passengers, and eliminate Corin. Hi, I'm Corin. But yeah, it doesn't make anything I got from Three Houses any less meaningful just because I can acknowledge that Dimitri is a product of capitalism, you know? And I don't like it when I try and present a criticism of the game that is relating to that, and people take it like me saying, like, you can't like this, you know, or like, you can't enjoy this. You have to stop liking this because it's a product of capitalism. That is not what I'm saying.
Glad to help.
Again, I just don't think there's anything we gain from pretending like it's not, you know? And also, like, this applies to, like, every single product. You know, it's not like it's exclusive to Fire Emblem Three Houses. It was just the easiest example I could think of. Because, you know, that gets talked about a lot. And I'm currently, like, kind of working on a thing where I talk about it a bit more. I'm Selena, one of Lady Camilla's retainers. I can tell that Milady is unhappy with this mission. But orders are orders. I'll faithfully carry out whatever Milady commands. So either please die or get out of my way.
We need each other.
Also, can I just say, I freaking hate the stupid, like, you just don't want to acknowledge friendship between men argument. Like, sorry, this is gonna be like a ranty kind of day, I guess. I hate the, like, you just, how dare you diminish the value of male friendship? It's like, yeah, okay. There has never been a piece of media about two men just being friends, right? Like, come on, like, it's just not... It's just a disingenuous criticism, in my opinion, in the ways I've seen it employed over time. It's always like some kind of like weird gotcha against like people enjoying something about a piece of media. Or enjoying subtext specifically, I should say. I really should have put somebody with a dragon vein power over here. That's my bad. Always about friendship between men. If there's a girl, it's always the love interest, right? And like, I feel like, okay, because I feel like I've had this criticism too, where I've like kind of been annoyed with guys shipping, you know, like, who I perceive to be heterosexual men shipping two female characters. But the context of that is more so like, there are not, I mean, there is more, okay. I'm not saying that there is, like, no instances of, like, two women being friends in media, but, like, it's so much rarer than instances of two men being friends in media. Because, like, women in media just, like, aren't treated well, you know? It's always, like, if there's a woman, she's like the token girl with, like, a group of guys, or she's a tag-along, or she's a love interest. And there's, like, not a lot of instances of, like, okay, I don't even want to say that. There's a significant underrepresentation of relationships between women that doesn't have anything to do with men. And doesn't have anything to do with romance. And so, like, that's where my annoyance with that comes from. Men don't have that problem. There are so many examples of just media where, like, male friendship is, like, not only, like, a thing, it's, like, the center of the work. So, like, it's context, right? Like, there's a societal context to why I get mad about this, but I don't get as mad about something else, you know? Okay, so it looks like it's just a mage who could get him here, so... I just noticed Hayato's not that res bulky, actually. This might go poorly for me. Yeah, it's like, oh, so it's okay for women to ship men and not for men to ship women? It's like, well, I didn't say it wasn't okay for men to ship women. That's not what I said. Sometimes it annoys me, but I'm not gonna tell you not to do it. That's the difference. I don't think I've actually said, like, why can't women just be friends in media? And, like, 15 years. Other than right now when I'm saying it as like an example of something, but... Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. First of all. Second of all... Yeah, it is a little bit different, you know? There is a context there with how women have been treated in media that needs to be acknowledged when you go into a conversation like this. It's like the, oh god. I don't know if any of y'all, like, actually go on, like, the Reddits for Fire Emblem. Usually I don't, like, check the Reddits for Fire Emblem all that often, just because, like, it's not necessarily something that I want to dedicate my time to, if you know what I mean. But I do check the, like, especially on Fire Emblem Heroes, I check the place when there's, like, a new banner, or I check the place when there's, like, they have, like, their, like, unpopular opinion threads and, like, the monthly rage threads and everything, and I will usually go and read through those. And it's like, for the last couple of months, there's been, like, kind of a weird undercurrent. Hi, Dante. What? There's been kind of, like, a weird undercurrent on the, like, the Fire Emblem subs where, like, it's almost like a backlash. Because you notice these things kind of come in, like, it ebbs and flows, and it comes in waves, and it, like, peaks and valleys, And I feel like for a while, the Fire Emblem subs were actually, like, being pretty good about, like, acknowledging sexism and, like, racism. Maybe not racism. I won't speak to that, but I feel like there was a while where, like, there was almost, like, a kind of...
Remain calm.
Not socially progressive air, because I don't want to ever be accused of calling Reddit socially progressive on, like, anything, but, like, there was an air of, like, being able to acknowledge this stuff, right? And I don't know when exactly it turned. It might have been... I'm thinking it was around the time that the API changes happened. And they had, like, the blackout. Because I remember thinking that after that, I was seeing a lot of people I had never seen talking on the Reddits suddenly, like, talking and having opinions about things. And I think that the Reddit API blackouts
Glad to help.
sort of woke up like a subsection of Reddit that's, like, normally would just be lurkers and wouldn't comment. I guess the word in, like, political terms would be, like, the uninterested centrists, right? I feel like there were a lot of, like, uninterested centrists on Reddit who would, like, maybe, like, lurk. They wouldn't necessarily comment. And they didn't care enough, like, maybe they care about this stuff, like, maybe they're a little bit more conservative, but they don't necessarily care about it enough to comment on it. It's happening. And I feel like the Reddit API change thing, suddenly all of these people tried to go onto Reddit, and they, like, saw that Reddit was down for them for, like, a day or a weekend or however long the subreddits were blacked out for. And it almost, like, kind of, like, woke them up and, like, made them more inclined to be engaged. Again, this is all just, like, my opinion, just based on, like, my years on Reddit and, like, just observations. And if I'm right or if I'm not, you know, whatever. But I feel like before that, like, people were generally, like, more speaking up about, like, this kind of stuff. And then after that, I feel like there was sort of an air on Reddit of, like, backlash to people speaking up about this kind of thing, like sexism. And that I feel was very encapsulated by, like, the Heroes subreddit had, like, their unpopular opinions threads. And, you know, women started speaking up and saying, like, you know, like, the sub feels, like, really hostile to, like, women. And, like, I'm not gonna say that they didn't feel like that before the blackout, because they probably did. But, like, I know as a woman, like, I felt it, like, whenever I would go there and just, like, browse casually. Like, I felt that there was, like, a heightened hostility after that. And, like... it really kind of has been centering on, at least in the Heroes subreddit, the, like, what is, like, what is too sexy for, like, a design, right? Like, what is sexualization? What is not sexualization? And... excuse me, sorry. 1 second. Okay, don't hit her with anything that targets her res. Can you take a water? Water, my bad. And I feel like... what was I saying? Shit. Right, okay, yeah. I feel like a lot of it's centered around, like sexualization of characters with, like, a certain number of people giving backlash to people who had said, like, I'm uncomfortable with the sexualization of women in Fire Emblem Heroes. And the backlash kind of became, I can't afford to show you mercy. My tribe needs me to hold nothing back. Are you prepared to die? Freeze you all. And the backlash kind of became, not that women weren't as, weren't over-sexualized, but, like, that men are sexualized too, and if you're mad about women being sexualized, you need to be equally mad about men being sexualized. And hopefully y'all are following where my train of thought went with this, because like I said, this is kind of just like me stream of consciousness talking. But like, and it kind of carries into that thread of, like,
Remain calm.
some people can't acknowledge that there is a difference in, like, how women versus men are, like, treated generally. Oh, I did not realize that was a Kill Boss chapter. I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna have to stop in the middle of my thought. Okay, let me real quick just, like, let me just note this down. Okay. But yeah, there's, like, a lack of acknowledgement that men and women are treated differently in society, and therefore different things, like, have different reactions? Alright, let's read the chapter. 1 Corn. Now kill me. Camilla, what are you talking about? Wait, Lady Camilla, you're giving up? You admit defeat too early. We can retreat and try again.
No!
No, you know as well as I do that death awaits those that fail my father. We'll be executed if we return home. I'd rather die at Corin's hands, to have the last thing I see be her face. Please, Corin.
Big sister.
Camilla, are you sure about this? You're willing to surrender your life to me?
You've left me no choice.
I am. Go on, my dear sister. I won't beg for mercy.
Understood.
Alright. In that case, Camilla, you're coming with us. You can't be serious. Are you out of your mind, Corin? They just tried to kill you. Why would you invite them to join?
Takumi.
You're not gonna be saying that when I got your husband, okay? Takumi, I know how you feel about Nora, but you can't believe I would kill my sister. Even though she fought against us, it was only because King Garen demanded it. Now she's safe from him, remember? Our real enemy isn't a part of Nora or Hoshido. The real enemy.
I'm
sorry, I can't talk about it here. But I want you to believe me, we're fighting to bring an end to this war. There has to be a way that doesn't destroy Nora or Hoshido. We'll find it together. Whoa. Lady Corin, did your sword glow just now?
I see.
I remember this look. This is the same look you'd get when me you'd give me when you'd made up your mind. I always loved that strong, determined look. Alright, I believe you. I'll fight for you. I don't know what's going on, but the least a big sister can do is believe in her little sister.
Thank you.
Thank you, Camilla. I cannot do a
Okay.
Camilla voice, I'm sorry. Well, that settles that. That means we're going too, Baruka. Where?
Huh?
What do you mean, where? We're going to join Lady Corrin's army with Lady Camilla. If a liege goes somewhere, then the retainers go too, obviously.
I see.
Understood.
I've got your back.
So you can count on us, Lady Corrin.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you.
Hey!
What about you, Flora? Will you come with us too?
No.
No, I can't abandon the Ice Tribe. There's still too many of us still in danger. Including my father, I cannot go with you.
Huh?
Won't it be dangerous for you to return home?
It's alright.
Don't worry, before we set out, I told them to go into hiding anyway, just in case. I'm going to meet up with them, and then we'll continue to lay low and avoid Nor. I'm putting my faith in you, Lady Corrin. My tribe will be able to return home if you, the hero, put an end to this fighting.
Well,
Hero?
I see.
Yes, a moment ago I saw your sword glow. I'm sure it must be the sword spoken of in old legends from my tribe. Heard something about this weapon?
That's...
It looks very much like the sword described in some ancient Ice Tribe stories. I want to know more about, like, how everybody knows about this sword. Shining sword. One who wields it is supposed to save the world. Which would make you the hero, wouldn't it, Lady Corrin? I think calling me a hero is a bit of an exaggeration. This may be a legendary blade, but my having it could just be coincidence.
Is that so?
All the same, I still believe in you, even though I'm not coming along. I choose to believe you are our hero, milady. Flora, we should get going.
Oh.
Oh, wait, I remembered something I should ask you. Do you know anything of dragons? Dragons?
Yeah.
The Archduke of Izumo said that an old god gave him a message for us. A message about dragons. If you know anything about them, please tell me. Even if it's just something from a legend, like the one you mentioned before.
I apologize.
I'm sorry, but I can't think of anything. They've been gone so long that we don't even have tales of dragons in the Ice Tribe. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance. No, it's fine. Thanks, Flora. Promise me you'll be careful out there.
Yes.
I will, until we meet again, everyone. I will say, so far, I feel like Revelation is a bit narratively weaker than the other two. Flora and the other Ice Tribe fighters have left. Hopefully, they and the rest of the tribe find a safe place away from King Garen.
Not to worry.
Don't worry, they're very skilled at manipulating ice. I'm sure they can build themselves a good hiding place or two as they go. Just like when you built that large snow fort to hide in. Oh wow, that really digs up old memories. I remember listening as everyone panicked, trying to figure out where I'd gotten to. You know, Camilla, I'm glad we're together again. I miss talking with you.
Oh my.
Aw, I was just thinking the same thing. It's like a dream. I think Flora had it right when she said you're a legendary hero. After all, you saved me back there.
Huh?
Are you saying that you believe in the legends he mentioned?
No.
No, that's not what I meant. I believe in you, Corrin, and whatever it is you set out to do. If anyone can bring an end to this war, it will be you.
Big sister.
Camilla. I can't imagine the others will all trust me yet, though. Do you know if it's Hoshidan tradition to listen in on the conversations of others? I'm sorry, I was just... Oh, they were both doing it! They were both eavesdropping! I'm sorry, we didn't mean to pry.
Well-
Sakura, Takumi, even you, Azura. Hold on, you're Azura, the same Azura that was kidnapped?
Huh?
You remember me?
Yes.
Of course I do, I saw you many times in the castle. And if I remember correctly, the Norian nobility used to treat you horribly.
Huh?
They did, why? Azura's mother, King Areti, was father's second wife. However, there were many in the nobility who supported Queen Katarina. My mother was one such person. She constantly told me not to talk to Azura. Of course, Xander, being Queen Katarina's child, was told the same thing. Later, when Leo was born, he was also kept away from her. We were dutiful children, so we obeyed. Wait, was Leo born? Okay, no, Leo was born before she was kidnapped. Okay, sorry. But we always wished we could spend time with you like real siblings. We never forgot about you. You're our adorable sister after all. Thank you for saying that, Camilla.
Hey now.
Azura, you shouldn't trust her so easily. Even though you're siblings, you can't be certain of her motives.
Oh my.
Oh, Takumi.
True.
No, he's right. You have every reason to be wary of me. We were just fighting a moment ago, after all. But you need not worry. From this point forward, I will do nothing that will upset Corrin. And that's my wife, so... Though if Corrin asks, I wouldn't object to taking one or two of you out. Camilla! I'm only kidding. No more dark humor for now. I'll keep things light. I promise I won't betray you. I will risk my life fighting with you all.
Yes.
Sure.
Truly.
Of course, Camilla. I'll be honest, I still don't trust you, but I'll work with you. Maybe over time we can build that trust, Princess Camilla.
Thank you.
Thank you, I'd love nothing more.
Everyone.
Thank you, everyone. I'd never dreamed I'd be able to bring my siblings from both kingdoms together. We still have a long way to go, but each step we take fills me with hope. Look, the ice is already starting to melt. Let's get this boat moving. Onward to Shev. Shev. Okay, hopefully we have Hana and Hayato done. Nope. Definitely not. Okay, I think we already read this one. We'll just skip it. I think we already read this one. We'll just skip it. I know we already read this one because we got them married, right? Skip that. Okay, Kaze and Mozu. These two are getting married. Mozu, what are you doing sitting all alone by the river? Oh, hey there, Kaze. I'm just peeling and washing these potatoes. I see. In that case, would you mind if I helped you? Oh no, that's okay, really. This is my job. Nonsense. I've nothing better to do, and I'm really quite good at it, I promise. What? You are? I am. Here, just give me one of those, and 1, 2, 3. Gosh, you're fast. It looks like you might be even better than me. I used to cook a lot. Strange as it seems, it was part of my training regimen. Oddly enough, my master also had me paint fences and polish armor. Household chores have a prominent role in Hoshidan martial arts training. I see. And here I was thinking I might just be the best potato peeler in camp. To tell you the truth, it's a little disheartening to get one up like this. I see. Well, if you'd ever like my help, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll teach you everything I know about the preparation of root vegetables. You do that for me? Thanks, Kaze. I appreciate it. I'll hold you to that, though, you hear? Yes, of course. Oh my god, why do you have so many supports? Alright, we'll do the My Castle stuff. I'm thinking... what I might do is I might go ahead and do a, like, a grinding map real quick. And get Hana and Hayato married. And then we might do Rajat's paralogue, and then I might call it for today. After we're done with Rajat's paralogue. And we'll save the next chapter for next time. Ugh.
Let me...
Oh god, you both suck. I guess Shuguri probably has like a strength stat, so we'll go with him. Oh, he got Dragon Fang, that's nice.
It's my turn.
But yeah, what was I saying? Did I have more to say about like the like men and women, you should be equally mad about being sexualized thing? Cause I don't know, I feel like I kind of said it, and if I keep talking, I'm just gonna muddy the waters there. Okay, let's do these supports. I've decided that unless they're siblings or they're getting married, I'm just gonna skip it. Because we're gonna get so many supports. And so many of them are just like from the vanilla game. You can just look them up if you want to read them. And we already read so many of them, like when we were doing what's the word I'm looking for? When we were doing Birthright or Conquest, we already did so many of these. And I can't keep track of the ones we already read on stream and the ones we didn't, so I'm making the executive decision here. I don't want to add this crap. Okay, one grinding map, and then we'll hopefully get the Hayato and Hana support. Okay, we're getting... Let me just take everybody off. We have Hayato and Hana. We have Kaze and Mozu. We have... Horn and Azura done. We don't have Ryoma. We don't have Inoka. We don't have Leo. We don't have Elise. We don't have Snil. Orochi and Kagero. Orochi and Kagero. We don't have Scarlet. We don't have Charlotte. We don't... Charlotte. Oh, we have Reina and Baruka, apparently? We just got Baruka, so... Not you. Baruka, Kaden and Keith. Shura, we don't have Shura. We don't have Flora. We don't have Perry. We don't have Odin. We don't have Laszlo. We don't have Azama or Anna. Okay. It's everybody who needs to be paired off. I'm surprised they did Baruka and Reina. Okay, let's see. Do they really have to put all the— okay, whatever, it's fine. But yeah. Yeah, I think I said everything I wanted to say about sexism in fandom. I went on for a lot longer than I thought I was going to. I don't know. I don't normally... I won't say that I try and keep my streams apolitical, because that's not true either, but I generally don't like ranting on them about, serious topics. It's just been on my mind. Okay, I want to make sure that Hayato and Hana are getting some kills. Republicans suck. Thanks, Nilsh. Also, hi, what's up? How you doing? We were talking about sexism, though, not politics. I mean, I guess you could technically count sexism as, a facet of politics, but I wasn't getting into the nitty-gritty with that. You're doing so-so? Well, hopefully you're doing better soon.
Oh.
Yeah. I was just saying at the start of the stream that I was really scatterbrained and just not having a good time with life this week for the most part. Oh, but we're fine. We're fine now. Well, apparently we're not fine now because I am actually ranting about serious topics, which is something I generally don't do, but we're better than I was at the start, and that's all I can really hope for. Same but place week with Decade. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, unrelated to real life stuff, but also souring my mood. My Fire Emblem Heroes luck has been dog shit. Just saying.
Alright, let's go.
I didn't get a single Summer Leo off those free tickets, and I'm still mad about it. I mean, I knew that the chances of me actually getting a Summer Leo were pretty low, but come on. I just want one, just one. Just one more merge. That's so much to ask for.
I won't let you die.
Who did you get for Choose Your Legends? I got Torin. and she's
That
a
was a good fight.
monster. A moonster, if you will. I will say though, the moon puns were very fun. If you don't follow my side blog, you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. Or maybe you do, actually. I made a post on Maine about it. I was supposed to be doing something else, but I spent an entire evening making fake Tumblr badges with moon puns. Because I got accused of being a dirty, rotten mooner, which actually the rant about Edelgard probably isn't going to help. I'm sure that if somebody is watching this, that's probably just gonna get like clipped out of context and they're gonna be like, that mooner. Did somebody really say moon cell? They did. They said moon cell. They called Azure Moon fans moon cells. Which is fucking hilarious. I wish I was as funny as the people who hate me. You know? Where, nowhere publicly. Okay, publicly, but not like on Tumblr.
You're no match for me.
It was in their shitty. People who don't follow me on the social medias are gonna be really confused by this whole conversation. TLDR, people are creepy and stalkery and can't let opinions about video games go. So.
That was a good fight.
I just want to say, that was an old message. It wasn't like right now, but it was like, oh, somebody called me this in the past. I'm still gonna laugh about it now.
Priceless.
I got called neckbeard incel. Yeah, well, they didn't even make a moon pun out of it. Lame. At least I got a moon pun. I want some moon whore badge. Honestly, like, I uploaded them for anybody. If you want to download it and, like, use it somewhere, like, go for it. I probably should have said that on the post. That was my bad, but I intentionally, like, I like signed them so that I can't get into another Pinterest situation. Alright, let's just read this report real quick. Hana, your laughter's unnerving. Are you saying you don't like my laugh? No, I just mean it's just... Ever since I gave you that cherry blossom purse, you've been giggling to yourself. It's just wonderful that there are two of them. One for me and one for Lady Sakura. Lady Sakura and I match. I'm so happy. Your constant giggling is drowning out my own thoughts. Hey, it's not nice to speak that way to someone. I mean, you're the one who gave it to me, yet for some reason you're being grumpy. I guess I'm just not amused that a woman I like is more interested in a purse than me. Pardon? Nothing, I mean, you say a woman you like? Or did I have something in my ear? No, you heard me correctly. I have to confess I've developed strong feelings for you. Hayato. Before, I'd only ever seen your fierce side in battle. But now I've seen your softer side, and the two combined has really struck me. But you never showed me these emotions. I was embarrassed. Anyway, you only think of me as a delivery boy for purses, don't you? And how could I reveal my feelings when I appear so silly and useless? That's not true at all. I also like you a lot. What? Of course I was obsessed with the purses when you first gave them to me, but I know that you asked your hometown to make purses with the cherry blossom pattern. That you went out of your way to do something nice for me. How did you know about that? And they sent me a letter, of course. I was right that I'd get along with them. And then I finally understood how kind of a person you are. I'd already been spending a lot of time with you, but at that moment I understood why. Oh, and I wasn't giggling because Lady Sakura and I had matching purses. It was because you gave them to me. I was filled with joy. Hana, so maybe we can actually go out now? Yes, of course. Excellent, then we can figure out who in the army these purses best match with. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm also, I haven't gotten around to it yet because I was really busy yesterday, but like, I want to make badges for the rest of the Blue Lions. I'm just debating on like who should be what. Oh, sorry, I have to poke my wife awake here. Hey, get the fuck up. Here you go. I could do Moon Cell, Moon Slaughter, Moon... Oh, what were the other ones? I have them all written down somewhere. Oh, there's also Moonchuels, Community. They really should not have given me an opportunity to make so many puns. I would put Mooncell, Hoshiden Trash, Norian Scum badges on my backpack. Oh my gosh.
Even if fate tears us apart, we'll always have these sweet moments to hold dear in our hearts.
I should start a Redbubble store then or something. I've never made a pin before. I have no idea how to make enamel pins. I would put that on my backpack. I would order 2, one to put on my backpack and one to keep, because I hate putting pins on my backpacks because I'm always terrified I'll lose them. I don't think there's ever been a pin on my backpack that I haven't, like, eventually lost or taken off because I was so afraid I would lose it. I would love it if Tumblr let you make, like, your own custom badges, you know? Because now they're rolling out the, like, the extra badges, like the, oh, like, made a post, did, like, saw 600 posts in a day, or whatever thing, but, like, I would love it if they would, like, let you make your own badges, maybe, and, like, sell them, possibly, with, like, a revenue split? Tumblr, hire me. You know, like you make badges, and then you get to have your own little Tumblr badge store, and then people can buy the badges and put them on their profiles. Or you could offer them for free, even, if you wanted to. I would feel weird selling like Moonchuel badges, just because, like, I am using art from the games when I make them. It's not, like, entirely original.
What are you looking at?
I'm using the Fire Emblem IP to make them, but yeah. That is a good idea though, Liz. The Norian Scum and Hoshido Trash ones. I might make a PNG of that after the stream is over. Oh yeah, let's get Rajat. Okay, let me make a note. Oh,
well,
shit. Almost dropped my... But yeah, I'm really living for the moon puns. Okay, let's see here. Don't need Hana anymore. I will bring Kaze and Mozu. I will bring Orochi and Kagero. Takumi, Sakura. Zura. Villa. And I have 4 more slots. Yeah, okay, this'll be good. Who else was there? Zoroche and... I think that's everybody. Okay, let's bring, Tsubaki and Aurora, I guess. And we'll just pair people off. If I do like Hoshiden Trash and Norian Scum badges, though, I feel like I can't just do the Royals. I feel like I gotta include, like, all of, or not, I can't just do Leo and Takumi. I feel like I gotta include, like, all of the Royals, you know what I mean? Let's just save and go. So that might take some time, assuming I don't forget. Remember the first time I saw your streams was on this map in Birthright? Was it really? Look how far we've come. Back at the exact same map, but now Leo and Kumi are gonna get married. Eventually, whenever Leo decides to join my army, because he's a nerd. A nerd who won't come along right away. Hopefully I was at least entertaining on this map in Birthright. I don't remember now.
The light fades.
I don't know if I've like improved with streaming, but I feel like I've been having an easier time with the Fates streams, and I think that's just because like I love the game, I love the characters, and it's just easy for me to like get a topic and start like going off about it. Not always, like there are some times where I'm kind of like struggling to find something to say, and like that's just mostly like my brain, you know? That's why I started writing things down, because I'm the kind of person where, you know, I'll just be walking around my house and I'll start talking to myself about like any old topic. Like the Nintendo Switch thing I talked about earlier, like that's something I literally just thought of at like 4 AM like a week ago. And I was like, yeah, maybe people would be interested in hearing me just like ramble about this. Not rant. It wasn't really a rant. So yeah, I feel like actually like writing these things down has helped a lot, because I don't have to like sit here and try and remember and then be embarrassed that I can't remember the thing that I wanted to talk about. I can just, you know, look at the paper and be like, oh yeah, I was thinking maybe I would talk about that.
Let's see what they've got.
But also, yeah, because it's just it's a fun game. I love the game, I love the characters. I love Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is really easy for me to talk about if you get me going.
Here I am. This is my chance.
Wait, did we have to go talk to Rajat in this map? Oh, right, she's like an enemy unit and you have to go, like, talk to her with Hayato or something. You don't have to neutralize these though, right? It's just like an option. I don't remember. If I had paid attention to the pre-roll conversation, I might know, huh? Whatever. I feel like streaming has also gotten a bit easier because like when I was starting out, I was like not I wasn't even diagnosed with my ADHD at the time, I don't think, when I first started. And I definitely was not medicated for it. And I feel like I got so much better at this once I was medicated, and I could like actually focus on like without like my brain flying in like 7,000 different directions all at once. I don't want to throw Camilla in there. She's gonna get, like, wrecked. Fuck. She's a pre-promote, so I don't necessarily want her, like, soaking a bunch of experience.
Thank you.
So yeah, I guess I'm saying thank you, Liz, for coming to the streams and thinking on seeing me for the first time. I'm so happy to have everybody here. Because I have a lot of fun with this. And you know, I would be streaming even if nobody watched, because part of the reason why I decided to start streaming was because there's so many games that I want to like play and replay, and like I know that like if I do it on my own, I'm gonna like lose interest or forget or drop it. So like, you know, having like one day of the week where I just sit down and I'm like, I'm gonna play this game like on stream for everybody, and you know, if people come, they come, and if they don't, they don't. Has been so great, but it is so much more fun when people like are watching, and if they're comfortable chatting, if they're chatting.
You are so last season.
Call me last season, Oboro.
Looks like a win.
Does drying up the bogs matter? I don't remember. I need to get Hayato a better tome. Is that the two? Oof, okay. We'll roll with it. I'm so glad we have played that Takumi. Reina, I explicitly went with you as the backup because Why are we here? Just to suffer? But yeah, another bonus of the streams is that, like, when dumb shit is happening, you know, these are just fun. I get to, like, do something fun. Okay, Reina, you better not miss.
Kill them all. Cry out in pain.
Oh, now you crit. Thanks, Reina. My ex-wife. I still love Reina. Who am I kidding? I'd let her step on me all over again. Fun to play just because it's fun without worrying about stats. Yeah. I missed what we were talking. Sorry. I got off track for a second there. And talk about chips and fix. Yeah. Oh god, I love that everybody here has either read my fics or is like cool with me talking about them.
As expected.
Which, like, I mean, obviously people wouldn't be watching if they weren't, you know, but I feel like that's something that also, like, doesn't happen enough in, like, the Fire Emblem, like, in fandom in general, but, like, the Fire Emblem fandom especially, like, the people who create content aren't, like, creating content that, like, feels like the kind of thing I would have engaged with when I was, like, a teenager. You know what I mean? Like, I think part of the reason why I didn't get more into, like, Fire Emblem Awakening is because I didn't really hit, like, the fandom scene for that. Like, I played Fire Emblem Awakening, and I had no idea where to look for content about it, because I wasn't on Tumblr at that point. And I wasn't really that invested in anything I found on, like, fanfiction sites. That might have even been before, like, AO3 was, like, really picking up steam. I was, like, trying to find, or before I knew about it, maybe, like, because I remember trying to find, like, Fire Emblem Awakening fanfics on, like, fanfic.net, you know? But, you know, like, I was trying to talk to people about Fire Emblem Awakening, but it was like I was finding game facts threads that were all about, like, the gameplay, or, like, maybe a little bit of discussion about the story, but it was a lot of, like, old guard Fire Emblem players who didn't like Awakening because of the story and everything. And, like, oh, it's too cartoony, it's too dumb. Robin takes up too much space, which, like, oh boy, if they knew. If only they knew what was to come. And, you know, I had Reddit, but, like, the Fire Emblem subreddit wasn't really, like, that welcoming for, like, just transformative fandom talk. Like, nobody advertises their fanfics on Reddit, or if they do, they get downvoted immediately and buried. And I think, like, part of the reason why I latched onto Fire Emblem Fates so much is because, like, there was, like, that fandom community to feed me, right? And so, you know, I guess it just makes me kind of sad. Like, and, you know, like, YouTube is also, I feel like, aligns more with, like, the Reddit kind of engagement with fandom. And yeah, I guess it just makes it kind of sad that, like, there's nobody really... I mean, there are definitely people doing, like, YouTube and streaming and everything, but it's not, like... I think it's underrepresented, considering just how much of, like, fandom is transformative. I think it's really sad that it's, like, very underrepresented in, like, arenas like Reddit or, like, GameFAQs or, like, YouTube or Twitch. And it's all, like, gameplay, 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 gameplay. You know? $26? No, that's not enough. Krobin got me into the fandom, but Leo Kumi was when I looked for fanfics, and 7 years later they're still rent-free in my head. Same, actually. I liked Krobin, but yeah, it wasn't like how I am with Leo Kumi. Okay, who still needs to move? Take you out. But yeah, like, I do think, like, also that's part of, like, what makes people feel kind of alienated from, like, the fandoms, because I feel like there's a very clear sort of divide between, like, oh, like, these are the people who talk about fandom on, like, Reddit, and, like, these are the people who talk about fandom on, like, Tumblr. You know? And...
Thank you.
A lot of, like, the stuff, like, you're probably going to find people talking about, like, the non-transformative side of the fandom before you find people talking about the transformative side, because that's just, like, more visible. And I do think that probably leads to people feeling, like, kind of alienated from, like, from the space. Like, in general, not like subdividing it, but, like, you know, if I had never found, like, AO3, or if I never, like, went on Tumblr or whatever, I probably wouldn't be as into Fates as I am, because I would have never found that community, and I would have been like, oh, I'm into Leo Kumi, but like nobody else likes it. Like, you know, nobody wants to hear me talk about this. Nobody wants to like nobody wants to hear me talk about it. No one wants to post art about it. No one wants to see art about it, you know? And then you go on Tumblr and people are like, please just like word vomit like a 10,000 word essay about your favorite character. We are here for you. We will sit here and we will listen to you. We love that you love this thing. And that's like really the kind of environment I think I would prefer for a fandom community in general. So that's also part of why I enjoy streaming. I mean, that's not what I set out to do. I'm not gonna pretend like it was like some grand plan or anything, but like, it does feel good to like talk about this stuff on stream and like know that like, if people find my streams first and they're into that stuff, they're gonna see somebody talking about it. And they're gonna maybe feel like more welcome in the fandom than I necessarily did before I found that.
No choice.
So yeah, sorry, we're getting a little like sentimental, emotional here. That's still not primarily why I do it, I just want to be clear. It's just an unexpected benefit of it. It would be really nice if these guys could stop swarming me. Okay, let's do... $26. And also because it's 2023 and people need to hear about Leo Kumi still. They never let you leave. You're always going to be shipping them until the end of your life. That's just how it is here. I never used Reddit, but at the time of Fates, I was in a roleplay group and I started shipping Leo Kumi thanks to those friends. Oh, I love it. I love to hear it. Yeah, Leo Kumi was not a thing on Reddit. Even like Three Houses with its like way bigger shipping scene, it was like... There are like... This is really hard to explain if you've never been on Reddit. But there's like... Reddit-approved ships. Reddit is very, 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 like, particular about their canon. For the most part. Like, generally speaking, whenever I have been on Reddit, it is very, like, non-transformative focused. And I do think that kind of ties into what I was saying before with like transformative fandom kind of being seen as like a women's thing. You never should be on Reddit, that is true. I do not recommend anybody go to Reddit, but just in generally speaking, but I feel like that ties into like with transformative fandom being seen as like a woman's thing, you know?
Your battle has
or like a
ended.
girly thing. Like, so they are like the exact opposite of that, where not only do they not enjoy transformative fandom in many cases, they will like actively denigrate people for participating in it. And like that's been like my experience is like, you know, I will try and say something about transformative fandom and it will immediately get like, ew. Like, how could you? Kind of responses. Or don't you know that, like, we care about canon here? Which also... Let's rather write meta instead, yeah. Which also, though, leads to the very, very funny unintended consequence of them arguing like school children about canon. Like, I've used, like, the Crom example for this. Where... they will argue tooth and nail about who Crom's, like, quote-unquote canon spouse is. Oh wow, that's... Don't miss. They'll argue tooth and nail about, like, who Crom's canon spouse is. And they will pull absolutely everything under the sun if they think it can back up a claim of, like, canon spouses for Crom, right? Like, the example I go to that comes up way more frequently than it should is the support growth rates in Awakening. Because, you know, if you know anything about how, like, the back-end coding of Awakening works, it's that there is... different characters have, like, different support growth rates. So, like, for example, Crom gains supports with Sumiya faster than he gains supports with Robin. And they will pull that. They will be like, well, Crom has the fastest support growth with Sumiya, so that means Sumiya's his canon wife or whatever. Which, like, okay, like, on a personal opinion note, I do think that they always intended for Sumiya. I do think they always intended for Sumiya to be kind of Crom's, like, wife. But that didn't really, like, because, I mean, if you think about it, like, Awakening was the first time they did, like, the free-for-all S supports and everything, and they thought it was gonna be the end, so maybe it wouldn't have even mattered. But I mean, you know, he's with her in the opening holding the baby and stuff, and she's got so few supports. I think in part to, like, make room for her to, like, be with Crom or whatever, or make it so you're not missing out on too much if you pair her with Crom. But, like, you know, obviously the series went on after that. They realized how popular, like, the dating mechanics and the pairing up was, and they kind of quietly retired the idea that Crom and Sumiya were ever meant to be, like, more than just an option for each other. But, yeah, they'll pull support growth rates, they'll pull anything. And it's honestly almost funnier than when people in transformative fandom get into arguments about that stuff, because people in transformative fandom who get into arguments about that stuff usually at least have some degree of awareness that they're being a little bit silly, and it's all kind of personal taste. You will find people on Reddit who will swear to their dying breath that Sumiya is Crom's canon wife and they can prove it. Like they will go for you over this. And, like, that's part of, like, the approved Reddit ships kind of thing, is that whatever ships come to prominence on Reddit are usually ships that have a degree of canon backing, even in the dating sim aspects era, have, like, a degree of canon backing, and also are, like, usually heterosexual, though they don't necessarily have to be, they almost always are. And it can be stuff as, like, obvious as, like, Edelgard and Byleth. You know, like, I feel like, I don't think anybody's gonna fight you on, like, there being, like, a canon degree of romantic attraction between them. Even if you don't marry Edelgard, it's always there in every single route. There's always an undercurrent of, like, yeah, she's hot for you, but, like... And then sometimes you get, like, just, like, weird stuff that's, like, Felix and Annette. Like, Felix and Annette is, like, one of the Reddit ships, where they will argue with you tooth and nail that, like, that's Felix's best option, that's Felix's only option. You know, like... And very cute. Yeah, I'm not really a big shipper of it, but, like... It's not really about my personal preference in this conversation. It's that whole weirdness. But yeah, and they'll pull like, well, Felix was only nice to the girls.
Thank you.
So Felix must, you know, have a weakness for girls or whatever, women. They're women, but they will say girls. You know, Felix secretly has a soft spot for women, and that proves that he and Annette are meant to be, or whatever. Felix and Bernadetta also are like a... Like, I feel like Felix and Annette is like way bigger on Reddit, but Felix and Bernadetta is also like an acceptable pairing for him on Reddit. No woman should marry Felix. Yeah, I would not subject any woman to that willingly. Oh yeah, okay. I think you do have to eliminate the acid bogs. Okay, if I talk... Are they fine? Father, you arrived. Meet your grandchildren. Aren't you proud of me? I've mastered the art of summoning. Faceless just keep on coming. It's so beautiful. But this is horrifying. If you summon any more of them, we won't be able to cut them all down.
Huh?
Oh, but I've only just begun. They're all part of our family, Father. Listen, you need to stop this now. Please, Father knows best.
What?
But how can you say that? You know nothing about summoning.
Rajat?
Dot, you know that's not what I mean. Now help us clean up this mess. Fine, Father. She does not have royal blood, so she... Yeah, I think Hayato died in my first try at this, so... But yeah, I would never subject a woman to marrying Felix. But like, they have, like, it's just like that kind of like weird sort of like Reddit vibe when it comes to ships of like, okay,
A beautiful.
these are the ships that are okay, and if you ship anything else, like, stop. You know, like, if you ship anything else, you're wrong. If you ship anything else, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, that kind of thing.
I'll do my best.
Which, honestly, I think partially is, like, what might have poisoned some of the Three Houses discourse. In hindsight, in retrospect. Because, like, imagine... Think about it like this, okay? I'm just trying to get into the mind of, like, your average Redditor. If you have the belief that, like, say, Edelgard and Byleth are canon. You know, they are the canon Byleth ship. That means that Crimson Flower has to be the canon route. Because that's the only route where Edelgard and Byleth can S-support. Which means that not only are people who, like, prefer Azure Moon wrong, they're disregarding canon. And disregarding canon is, like, sacred to Redditors. I mean, it's not really, but, like, they think it is. Because they don't... There's a transformative undercurrent to a lot of Reddit discussion that they just don't acknowledge as transformative. They, like, don't seem to, like, conceptualize it as transformative, even though it absolutely is. But yeah, no, if Edelgard and Byleth are the canon Byleth ship, the canon Edelgard Byleth ship,
No need to worry.
then CF has to be the canon route. And if you prefer Edelgard and Dimitri, or not Edelgard and Dimitri, Byleth and Dimitri, or Claude and Dimitri, that means that you're saying Azure Moon or Verdant Wind are the canon route. And you can't go against canon. That's not approved by, like, the Reddit hierarchy, hive mind kind of thing. So now you need to be corrected, and they will throw anything they can at you, but because there's actually no canon route to Fire Emblem Three Houses, like, 100% confirmed, the devs have said, there is no canon route, just pick your favorite. But, like, because they think they have pieced together the secret puzzle that tells you what the canon route is, anybody who goes against that idea of the canon route must be going against canon, which means that's not allowed, which means that's too transformative, that's too girly, it needs to be crushed, right?
How do I look?
And so they'll argue with you until you either give up or leave. And you know, now in like hindsight and retrospect, that might have actually like made the Three Houses discourse a lot worse. Because I think if like, I mean, like a lot of it's on Twitter too, but I feel like because of like all of the chaos on the internet, there's been kind of like a spreading out, like people are on more social medias, like, you know, people who were once on Tumblr are now also on Reddit and on Twitter, when before they might have only been on Tumblr, and then people who were on Reddit moved to Tumblr a little bit, or moved to Twitter a little bit, because that's just where everybody was talking about stuff, and it's just like, whereas before, I think like the Tumblr transformative kind and the Reddit kind stayed more separate. Now they're much more like inclined to interact with each other. And I feel like if everyone had kind of just gone into Three Houses with the understanding that like there is a transformative aspect, then maybe we might have been better off. But what do I know? Just the vibe I get.
Yay.
I'm just gonna go out with... I don't know if any more are gonna spawn from these things, or if they just spawned because I talked to Rajat. But yeah, this is how we get the devs saying stuff like, hey, there's no canon route actually. There's no canon route. Just pick whichever one you like the most. And you still get people arguing like, okay, but which route is the most canon? It's like, none of them. That's the point.
I'm here.
The devs lied. Yeah, the devs lied. We know the game better than the developers do. What else do people say? The devs didn't understand their own story. We know the game better than them. I don't think they really appreciated this character they wrote. I don't think they understand what they wrote. And it's like, or maybe like you just can't acknowledge that like it's supposed to be ambiguous, and that's okay. Queen Moon cells know that AM is canon. AM is canon because Dimmy-Doo is canon. Just kidding, unless, yeah. I mean, actually, you know, Dimmy-Doo canon, right? Like, hear me out. Using this logic. Using this logic, Dimmy-Doo canon because it's the only relationship that happens no matter what route you play. Other than like Edelgard and Byleth, but like you could argue. I mean, Edelgard and Byleth like happens in that like Edelgard always has the crush on Byleth no matter the route, but like it doesn't happen in like the sense that like, you know, they actually can get together. Dimmy-Doo, they're married on every route, right? Like we all know that. Like,
Thank you.
I can't wait to get somebody being like, they're just friends. I choose to interpret the relationship as friendship. Like, congratulations, I don't. My Violet enjoyed smashing her head. Ouch. But yeah, like, you know, on Verdant Wind and Silver Snow, Dimitri always tells Dedue to flee and save himself, and Dedue always, like, goes to Enbar to, like, finish the job, right? In Crimson Flower, like, honestly, like, they're almost gayer in Crimson Flower than they are in freaking Azure Moon. They have an entire death scene together. Like, they have the entire death scene together. If you take out Dedue before he transforms, they have, like, their special death scene where, you know, they're like dying in each other's arms and talking about how, like, how happy they were to know each other because they gave each other purpose in life and brought each other happiness, like gay. And then Azure Moon, you know, the Dimmy-Doo route. Did I make that joke before, the Dimmy-Doo route? I just got like the weirdest sense of deja vu. So yeah, by this logic, Dimmy-Doo is the only canon ship in 3 houses. Congratulations, other than like Geralt and Sea-Tree. I swear I've talked about this before. Yuritsa's the canon ship in Crimson Flower. Can he be the canon ship in Crimson Flower if he had to be added to the game via like an update later? Things to think about. I also never played the game with Yuritsa, fun fact. Yuritsa, whatever. I never played the game with him because he was added after I had beaten Crimson Flower already, because that was the second route I played. And I'm not replaying Crimson Flower just to use Yuritsa once. I'll go read his supports online. I'm not sitting through White Clouds again for this. He sucks. Yeah, I mean, we all knew that. Yuritsa slander. I'm not a huge fan. I think part of the reason, I don't think Yuritsa would bother me as much if it weren't for the fact that people gave Perry such a hard time. Cause like, people are like, oh, like Perry is the worst Fire Emblem character. She's just like a serial killer. And she drags everybody down in her, like, in their support conversations. She drags the whole thing down. She drags the entire game down. And then you have, like, Yuritsa, the male serial killer. Like, he's the male version of Perry, right? He had childhood trauma that led to him becoming a mass murderer. And people are just like, oh, he's such a good character. Look, he's a good representation of dissociative identity disorder or whatever, which he is not. Because most people with dissociative identity disorder aren't fucking murderers. there's that little distinction. I would let Perry kill me. Okay, rein it in. Yuritsa and Henry. Yeah, no one gives Henry shit either. Even though I don't remember, it's been a while since I played Awakening. I don't remember if Henry is like actually a murderer, if he's just like kind of macabre. I loved Henry when I first played Awakening. I annoyed every single person I had ever spoken to by just constantly sending like screen grabs of like the crazy ass shit he would say.
Naturally.
I guess I should say wild, not crazy.
Natural.
But yeah, wait, nobody gives Henry shit for being like super macabre and weird. And nobody gives Yuritsa a pass for being a literal on-screen serial killer. You know? Okay, I'm gonna skip this because it's not gonna be any different from what we've already seen. Like I said, unless they're getting married, I'm skipping it. Why, hello there. Having a good day, I hope? I suppose so. You're awfully excited, may I? Your neck is a good spot, isn't it? You like that, don't you? What are you doing? Hello, I don't believe I've introduced myself. My name's Reina. Veruca, what are you doing with my wyvern? Oh, we're just talking. What's his name? He doesn't have one. What? Well, that's no good. We should give him one. The first thing that jumps out at me is Widowmaker. I should name a cat that. You can't be serious. You're right, that is a bit too long, isn't it? How about Nightwing? That seems like a dangerous sort of name. Is this some kind of Hoshidan humor? No, of course not. It's important that you two form a bond. Naming your mount, spending time with it, becoming friends. That's a responsibility for any mounted knight. You finished? That depends on what you're going to say next. Very well, that'll be all then. Are you sure? You clearly have something on your mind. I don't need you passing judgments against me. While we might both fight atop mounts, we have nothing else in common. My bond with that wyvern is one of necessity. It's merely business. Trying to form some kind of friendship would only be a distraction. Now that seems like an exaggeration. Only a distraction? That can't be right. I've seen you on the battlefield. Every time you defeat an enemy soldier, you rub his neck, don't you? You can't deny that's a friendly gesture. In Nor, we have to train wyverns to be able to ride them. The neck petting promotes better handling and behavior, which is necessary in battle. And when you do it without cause, the gesture becomes meaningless. I suppose that does explain it. Yes, it does. Now if you'll excuse me. Veruca, wait. What now? Perhaps your relationship to your dragon is, at the moment, just business. But that doesn't mean it can't become something more. Right now, our business is a man who has to die. Now step aside and let us pass. Of course. Isn't keen on listening, is she? What was that other name I was forgetting? Not Nightwing. Widowmaker? I don't know. Yeah, we're just gonna read these real quick and then we're gonna wrap up the stream. Bozu, something the matter? Well, I'm peeling these potatoes the way you showed me, but it's not working. That's alright, if you practice a little while longer, I'm sure you'll master it. It's not something that can be learned overnight, just like combat training. Like combat training? Yes, you build a foundation by practicing every day. You work it into your muscles. Then, using that foundation, you move on to the advanced techniques. The same with cooking. You've got to work on the basics until they're mastered. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All it takes is practice. You'll be peeling potatoes like lightning in no time at all. Yeah, I guess I wasn't good at cooking when I first started, but I just kept at it, and now I'm a pretty decent chef. I just gotta treat peeling potatoes the same way. That's the spirit. I'm glad you're feeling better. I owe it all to you. Thanks, Kaze. There's nothing, Bozu. I'm happy to help. Okay. No, it's gotta be here somewhere, anywhere. Hey, Rose! You came just at the end of the stream again. I'm sorry. Why in such a panic, old friend? You've turned this room upside down. Have you lost something? You're the last person I wanted to bump into right now, Kagero. What's wrong, Orochi? I lost one of my cards, you know, my fortune-telling cards. I see. No, you don't, or else you'd be upset too. They're from the deck you made for me. That deck is my most prized possession. I sleep with it under my pillow. I value my ceiling drawings too highly. I'll just make you another card. Another one, it's irreplaceable. Don't be ridiculous. Easily done. I just need a little time is all. Unless, did you sell your soul to make my napkin scribbles magical? Now you're being ridiculous. They're not magical, but they are special. Then leave it to me. I'll try and copy it from memory. Which card did you lose? The one with the brook and the fish. Oh, that one. That one will be tricky to recreate, but I'll do my best. Thank you, dear friend, and again, I'm sorry for losing it. Stop apologizing. I'm just surprised you hung on to those drawings for so long. You can count on me, as I've counted on you since we were children. Childhood friends to lovers! Like 2 peas in a pod, but I'm the luckier of the peas. Well, this pea has got to get rolling if she's going to get this card done. The Brook card. You couldn't have lost an easier one to remake, That girl. Does she really not remember why that card is so special to me? I'll just be glad to have it back in my deck, no matter how I get it. I'm fortunate to have such a good friend as Kagero. Okay, yeah, oh. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us today. I'm gonna go get dinner. So thank you everybody for watching. I stream every Saturday around 3 p.m. Eastern. So go ahead and drop me a follow if you want to be alerted to the next time I go live. And until then, I will see y'all next time. Peace.